So it's 10:04. There's 10 toes on the square. This is raising consciousness. This is not supposed to be easy. That's the title. It's also a direct statement of fact. Raising consciousness is never been intended to be easy. It was never supposed to be easy. It was never intended for it to be easy because the caterpillar can't come out of the cocoon as a butterfly until he tear the whole cocoon off. Otherwise, he's still a butterfly, still a caterpillar trapped in the cocoon. The struggle of removing the cocoon is his way of showing how he is capable of handling his life as a butterfly. That's after the transformation. All the hard shit go on inside of the cocoon. But in HAYES, we call it the cave of the ancient. So, the cave of the ancient, let me see who's in here. Okay, give me 1 minute. I just had to make sure I see who in there so I know who first. The cave of the ancients, or the cocoon, however you want to look at it, was written about by Rampati Labsang, and the ancient priests used to go to the cave while they do their fasting and their meditation and their training as a priest. And they couldn't leave the cave unless one of the princesses came and got them, or a priestess or high priestess came and got them. But whatever they come and get him for, as soon as the underlying cause is met, then he got to go back to the cave until he's finished with the work. All right. So, in the course of the transformation, it's not supposed to be easy. Everybody wants shit to be easy. Everybody wants shit to be the way they want it to be because it don't unfold. We didn't talk about this before. Because it don't match their preconceived notion about the rollout and how it should look, then they believe that it doesn't happen or it's not happening, or that the people that's telling you is taking place and showing you what's happening in real time, the person don't understand process. Process is the accumulation of things in a specific order in order to roll out the whole shebang. You can't roll it out if you don't take the steps necessary. So at General Motors, what we like to call it is it's a layered build, right? It's a layered build. And they have to go through varying departments before the vehicle come out a full vehicle at the end of the line. The people in the trim section don't get frustrated because when the car is leaving trim, they don't see a completed product, because they understand in the process, before it could be a finished product, it has to go to chassis. You got to go to chassis, have the drivetrain and things put in chassis. Motor drops in chassis, right? But in trim, you only do the trim portion of the vehicle. When you got different people putting hands on the vehicle, they can only do the part that's within their realm of control. Excuse me, y'all. It's in their realm of control or in their underlining team to perform. Some people put in the body harness. The body harness is the wiring network of the car. But you got to put that in before you put the carpet in. because you can't put the body harness on top of the carpet because you will be putting things in out of order. You also can't put the seats in before you put the carpet in. And you also don't want to put none of that in without installing your HVAC system that goes under the carpet before you start rolling in. So now as you move back, you have to have the lining placed in what they call a dash mat before you put the dashboard in. It's called an IP, instrument panel. So it's a layered build on a project. Everybody got to do their particular part. But at the end of the line, a whole car roll off, and no one person from the time it left the body shop being put into pieces through the paint shop, through the trim shop, through the chassis shop, rolling off the final line, no one individual can say, I built that car by myself. Because everybody on the line, from body shop to final process, then probably had their hands on that car. That's a lot of hands on one vehicle. So when you look, that's just building a car. When we building a new reality, a new tomorrow, we didn't like the paradigm given, so we decided to reject the bullshit. We no longer wish to be enslaved. We no longer believe that the wicked should benefit for the suffering of the righteous. We don't believe that the righteous should be sacrificed because the wicked don't want to do their own shit. So we no longer shall the righteous be, no longer shall the righteous be held in reprisal for the indignation of the wicked. That means that if a motherfucker did the dirt, he can't offer the sacrifice of the righteous to redeem him from the dirt because he got to pay for his own shit. That's that Anunnaki shit. They will trade your ass for being good to conceal the dirt that they done. They call that a sacrifice, offering up a sacrifice, right? As the blood of the righteous shall not be spilled in vain, we going into the new world. No longer shall the blood of the righteous be redeemable by the dirty deeds of the wicked. Now, the only redemption is everybody got to do their own shit. Once you understand that rule has been changed, now you can start to apply pressure to your oppressors in order for them motherfuckers to get their foot off your neck. Yep, no more scapegoats. No more patsies. No more fall guys. No more coat sievers. No more cat's paws. No more putting the motherfucker up to look like they the dirty motherfucker while you doing the dirt. That ISIS wisdom bitch ass shit. So, you have to understand that the process, the difficulty in raising your consciousness is what causes the elevation in the consciousness, the difficulty, the resistance. Because if you a weak-hearted, weak-spined motherfucker, you supposed to buckle under the pressure of the difficulty, and that shit'll leave your ass laying where you standing at, and ain't nobody beating touch you because you can't do your own motherfucking function. You can't perform your own life work, right? And so now you got a lot of people that done been up close and personal and watched a motherfucker draw answers out of the ethers in their face, in their physical presence, and they still confused. They still confused. These motherfuckers want to blame everybody because they weak, insufficient, no business born, monkey back motherfuckers. These motherfuckers don't understand the difficulty is part of it. You have to be long suffering because you got to last as long as it take. How long is that? How long it take? You can't put a time frame on the changing of a global government. from some dirt that's been going on all these years, and then all of a sudden the shit just supposed to be smooth in the morning. It's a process. It's a step-by-step process. It's a layered build of consciousness that wakes up the consciousness to others. Each one teach one, we all gonna reach some. You know, and the more we reach, the better we teach, and the better we teach, the more we reach. So keep reaching for the stars, and we'll find out who the fuck we are. But don't let the difficulty be an obstacle, because the obstacle is the way. You overcome the hard shit. So mama said, where there's nobody talking about you, and ain't nobody trying to tear you down and degrade you, you ain't doing something right. But soon as you try to do what's right, the motherfucking lazy, the entitled, the selfish, the self-centered, the downright trifling, all of them motherfuckers gonna be mad at you because you don't fit in the category they in, and they can't understand how you are coming up in their presence, and they can't see where you're coming from, but they can feel the velocity of the rise in their face. They can feel the whole weight and force of your rise, even when they don't see it happening, and they can't understand, well, how is this motherfucker doing this shit? Because he take the good with the bad, right? He took the right and the wrong, the good and the bad, the truth and the lie, and he didn't pick sides with none of that shit. That's the only way you can see it straight. As soon as you pick sides, you're looking at it at an angle. And once you're looking at an angle, they can trick you at that point. Fuck your peripheral vision up. The sidereal vision of the collateral attack cannot be seen unless you can see straight. And what we mean by see straight, that means follow the Sirata Mustaqim. That's why they say the blind leading the blind, lest they lead themselves to a ditch. They don't know what's on the side of the road. The motherfuckers can't see. So a bunch of motherfuckers that can't see is trying to tell other motherfuckers that don't want to see what they see, and ain't none of these motherfuckers seeing nothing because it ain't producing nothing. You know your value when you do something from a genuine place, and because of the genuine nature of it, just because the general nature of it, it makes it valuable. It makes it valuable where somebody can take what you give away for free and they can monetize that shit. They can start a YouTube channel. They can start a Patreon. And they can do a little bit of their own work and increase the value of the context and the content that's been freely given to the public. But everybody should be compensated for their work. I'm not doing this for compensation, because the compensation for me for doing this is to see my sisters get their shit in the public motherfucking face, under the spotlight, front fucking stage. Give my sister the Grammy. Give her the Oscar. Give her the Tony. Give her the motherfucking Emmy. Give her the People's Choice Award. Give her the Mother's Choice Award. The Father's Choice Award, the Children's Choice Award, whatever the fuck you got that belong to her, just give her shit and we gonna all be happy. But if she ain't getting her shit, and if one of us ain't happy, ain't none of us happy. Because where we go, we ride together with this shit. It's like Pac said, we might fight amongst each other, but I promise you this, we'll burn this bitch down, get us pissed. So, expect difficulty in your awakening. Don't let nobody tell you they can do the shit for you. Can't nobody do your work for you. A person can give you the answers to your tests, but you have to implement them answers in your life in order for them to even serve you any purpose. Just because you have the answer to the test, if you don't put the answer to the test, it's not answered. Right? So they can give you the answers, but you still got to do the work. That shadow work some nasty shit. That's why you niggas don't want to do shadow work. It's evil. That shit wicked. That's the devil. Y'all don't even know what words mean. The words y'all be using that be coming out y'all mouth, y'all don't know the definition of the word, the etymology of the word origin. What geographical part of the planet did the word come from? Who invented the word? We don't even know that shit. All we know is we spitting some shit out our mouth. And if you don't know the definition of it, you don't even really know what the fuck you saying. But then if somebody come along and tell you what you saying, you say, no, that ain't what I meant. That's what you said. That ain't what I meant. But it's what the fuck you said. But that ain't what I meant though. What the fuck did you mean? Yeah, motherfucker, you don't even know shit. You can't even express your own self because you don't know the words you're using and what they mean. And then you wonder why your relationships can't last. Why we can't get along with our significant others. Motherfucker, we speak two different languages. Most of the women is speaking feelings, and most of the guys are speaking idiot because they never even picked up a dictionary to look up the words they talk. They don't even know what the fuck they saying. So how you expect your woman to know what you saying when you don't even know what the fuck you saying? How do you expect your woman to know what you saying when you don't even know what you saying? Nigga, go walk around with a dictionary till you master that motherfucker, and I guarantee you, when you be more precise with the words you use and more deliberate with the intent you motherfucking expressing in the language will start working for you. But no, it's got too much work to read a dictionary. Nigga, I done read about 100 and some thousand books, and you want to, including several different dictionaries, lexicons, etymological dictionaries, encyclopedic dictionaries. I done read encyclopedias, Britannica, Encyclopedia motherfucking Africana. I done read all that shit. And you niggas don't even get the grasp of the language so you can properly communicate with the motherfucker you go to bed with next to every night. And can't have a simple conversation because you don't even know what the words mean that's coming out your mouth. So that's why it's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would go for the low-hanging fruit. Because it's difficult and because the conscious raising process is painful. It's emotionally draining until you learn one critical thing about the emotions. That's just your navigation system. If you are in a state of grief and you malnourished, you can't get over the grief until you get your nutrition balanced. That's all. If once you can balance your nutrition, then you can balance the grief. But you thinking that the grief is going to take how long the grief take. Your health, your mineral health, and your physiological form is critical for the overcoming of the grief. When I lost my mama, they thought they lost me. Shit, I was just arriving. Mama was the catalyst, the painful motherfucking ignition to spark the fire, to come back and tell you motherfuckers who did it. Them dirty Moors, where they came from. They got kicked out of Europe in the Spanish Inquisition. How did they get here? They made a pit stop in some place in North Africa called Almagria, and they came by ships from Africa. And what they do when they got here? They told us that we the motherfuckers that came on the ships and that they brought us all over here because we was they slaves working on Big Mama's farm, and they was calling it the plantation. And they want y'all to believe that shit. Now, we got ships from ancient Egyptian dynasties that sailed over here. They found it. They found Osiris' 5,500-year-old ship. They found the Chinese emperor's ship that's about 12,000 years old. They came over here because in the ledgers of the royal court, it said that they was trading with them motherfuckers across the motherfucking water where the sun rises. Well, if you in China, the sun rises in America, just in case y'all didn't know. When you live in China, the land of the rising sun is the Americas, because that's to the east to them. But because we on a European upside down, backwards, geological, perceptual deception, where we think that the north is up and the south is down. That's why we don't know that the east is west and the west is east. And that's why they talk about the sun rising in the west. The only way that's possible if you can flip the motherfucking planet back to its proper orientation. That's why everybody's sexual orientation is fucked up, because they got their whole motherfucking geographical orientation, geological orientation, astrological orientation, astronomical orientation. All of those are upside down and backwards. And then they got you playing on the top and the bottom of the chessboard. But you only playing the bottom while they playing the bottom and the top of the chessboard. They playing you on the right side up and the upside down. But you only playing upside down and backwards. They playing you on the straight forward and in the reverse, but you only playing it on the side to side shift. So now this is why y'all can't figure this shit out. Is the first order of business is proper orientation of the psyche. They call it flipping the Lucifer lens, the lens of awareness, enlightenment, waking the third eye, opening the pineal gland, raising the sacred secretion, what else they want to call it? Enlightenment, Christhood. All that mean is that, goddamn it, you can't be tricked no more, and you ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. And the next time a motherfucker come trying to put a banana in the tailpipe, you gonna whoop his ass with the whole goddamn tailpipe system, the exhaust system, right? You're gonna disconnect the exhaust system from the manifold, take the main line that run from the manifold to the muffler and wrap it around them bitches' neck, and then you're going to feed the tailpipe on the other end of the muffler straight up they motherfucking candy asses. That's when you get aware of what these motherfuckers doing, because when you understand that you got free will to use your free will, but if you don't use it, somebody going to use it for you. That's how come motherfuckers need to follow motherfuckers and motherfuckers need followers. I do the shit the way I do it because I'm trying to deliberately not create a cult. I do not want no cult of motherfuckers up under me doing they dirt, trying to act like they doing what's right, and then bring me and the whole goddamn community back down again. I will not participate in those foolish shenanigans. That's the dumbest shit in the world to me, and I don't want no parts of it. So I come on social media because the revolution will not be televised. But that shit showing the fuck playing out on social media, we doing the play by play, the step by step, the inch by inch, the little by little. The expose what you see and I show you what I see, and we can see this shit together. Merge your vision with my vision and we can see around the world. That's exactly what's going on. But as long as a motherfucker don't want to do their work, they can't ride with us. They can't come along. We not joyriding in these stolen cars no more. Nigga, we taking these bitches to the chop shop getting motherfucking scrap metal money for them. Fuck that motherfucking joyriding shit. That shit for the birds. If we gonna ride in this motherfucker, well, let's ride. Or otherwise, I don't want no parts of it. I want no parts of it. 40 laws of power say create a cult-like following. Oh, no. That's how the government gonna come in. It's a reversal to that shit. Remain motherfucking unattainable. Just out of reach of the cult. Because the people with the cult mentality is the ones that's those overly righteous, self-centered, selfish motherfuckers that don't want to do their own work. If you don't set up a motherfucking cult center for them to converge on, then they don't have anybody to blame for their life but them. And now that they can't blame nobody, they have to stand on their own 2 feet. Half these motherfuckers, when they stand on their own 2 feet for the first time, they goddamn bunions gonna hurt. They corns gonna swell up. They toes gonna feel funny. They feet don't want to walk right. Because for the simple fact is, they don't want to stand on their own feet. They'd rather ride on your motherfucking back. right? So when motherfuckers want me to address every individual that got some negative shit to say about me, the collective address to them is they can all kiss my ass or they can bump straight, because I'm the straight bump. So if they don't bump straight running into the straight bump, they gonna get bumped the fuck off. And it's not personal, right? I'm not finna address every motherfucker with a little attitude problem, right? Because they can't control me. Because they can't make me do what they want me to do. They can't put me in the box they want me in. I don't fit in no box. I'm not designed to be in the box. It's like crabs in the barrel. Everybody worried about the crabs pulling each other back in the barrel. I'm worried about the nigga that put us in the fucking barrel. Fuck the crabs in the barrel. Who put us in this motherfucking barrel? See, while y'all busy fighting each other over who trying to hold each other in the barrel, I'm trying to catch the hen that keep dropping motherfuckers in the barrel. Soon as I catch that motherfucker, this motherfucking sea crab right here, this motherfucking blue king crab gonna grab that motherfucker by his wrist and say, hey, y'all ain't gotta hold each other in the barrel no more. I got this bitch now. Everybody jump on this motherfucker and use his ass. And as we crawl out the goddamn barrel, we gonna push this motherfucker bitch ass in the barrel. That's the mentality I'm on. I ain't on no motherfucking go along to get along. We shall overcome. Let's march downtown. March for what? Nigga, we ain't marching nowhere. If you see me marching, I guarantee you something getting tore up when we get there. If you see Rod Hayes marching somewhere, I'm not marching to talk. I'm not marching to negotiate. I'm not marching to ask for a favor. If you see me marching somewhere, nigga, something getting tore up when we get to the destination, out the gate, whoever there, getting their ass tore up. Or I'm not marching. The fuck I look like marching? They did that shit years ago. Shit, the Jehovah's Witness had a Million March in the 1930s, Million Man March. Nation of Islam had one in the 90s. Martin Luther King had a motherfucking march in 63, a march in 64. He marched on Selma. He marched on D.C. Them motherfuckers was doing so much goddamn marching, just watching them motherfuckers gave me jet lag. They was all over this bitch marching on some we shall overcome ass shit. And they still didn't overcome. They succumbed to the motherfucking traitors in the midst. So stop thinking it's supposed to be the way you want it to be. Stop thinking that because it don't look like you want it to look like, it's not happening. Believe you fucking me. If I didn't think this shit was happening in real time, that this matriarch was being raised, these sisters is getting their shit back, these real soldiers is standing up for the sisters, and we pushing the sissy ass niggas to the side, and that all of the tribes is starting to remember who they is. Niggas that used to wear feathers is wearing feathers again because they thought they was from Africa till they had a jolt of motherfucking information from some old motherfucking, what would you call, obscure Negro in some little small town outside of Detroit called Pontiac, and he just so happened to be the chief in this little hometown, most loved, most respected. And he used to tell y'all, why are y'all letting them motherfuckers tell you what to do? This your shit. You came in this motherfucker to wear your full feather regalia. They came in to give you affairs in a goddamn bow tie. They came in to give you affairs with a tassel on that bitch. And you came in to show them that the feathers is superior, and they came in to show you that the fez was superior. So let us all become Moors now. No, we not finna do that shit. We not all Moors. Moor is not an ancient term. Morocco is not an ancient country. Morocco is not an ancient nation of our people, an ancient country for our people, an ancient safe haven for our people. And ever since Morocco been around, we've been in slavery for some odd reason. Let's tear that bitch down. Watch how free we be when we tear that motherfucker down. Let's go shake up the Al Maghrib. Let's go motherfucking stir up them motherfuckers in Switzerland. Right? Let's go in upstate New York and drag these bitches out and drag them out of upstate New York so y'all can see who the dirty players is behind the motherfucking scenes in these secret societies, because they look like us. They just not us. They don't feel about one another like we feel about each other. They don't love their women like we love our women. Hell, they women don't love theyself like our women love theyself. Hell, they women don't even like to watch they motherfucking cooter bird like our women like to keep they shit up. Right? You can smell a woman coming from a block away. You won't notice ours unless you smell the sweet scent of her motherfucking bath oils. And these motherfucking bitches think they got the right to rule over the righteous sisters who take care and reverence the sacred womb that carries Big Mama energy of creation so that they can duplicate your dumb ass nigga and give you the opportunity to see yourself in your child. But you gotta always remember the bloodline come through the mama. How the fuck you figure that, Rob? If it wasn't for the Y chromosome, nigga, mama's baby, papa's maybe. It might not even be your goddamn baby. Mama's baby, papa's maybe. You can guarantee if she carried that motherfucker in her womb, that motherfucker got her blood. But you can't guarantee that's your motherfucking nut that put her there. You can hope so. You can guess so. You can think so. You can desire it. But the truth of the matter is, it's always 100% mama's baby and papa's maybe. And that's why the motherfucking child support is backwards. The women used to leave the babies with the men, and you niggas is too dumb to remember. This wasn't 100 years ago. Women used to didn't want to get a divorce because they didn't want to leave their children with the breadwinner to go find another breadwinner to start another family. That's how that shit go. Right? Yeah, X chromosome atrophy shrivels up and becomes a Y. It's missing about a third of the genetic information on a Y chromosome that would normally be on the X. When you look at the Y chromosome, it has what you call an atrophied appendage, which makes one part of the X shrivel up, and then it looks like a Y instead of an X. But at the end of the day, some of you niggas ain't got dicks, y'all got elongated clitorises, and you motherfuckers is more bitch than a woman. And that's why you motherfuckers don't want to back up Kanye and Kyrie, because y'all got more motherfucking pussy in you than the pussy you came out of. Sissy ass niggas. And then they want to know how the fuck we gonna fight a war with all of the men chasing men, pinching booties and shit. And then they don't want you to say nothing because they gonna have and unleash the whole elemental QSVP, QRZ, ZZ top motherfucking community on your motherfucking ass. Let's unleash the gay warriors. Them motherfuckers fight harder to be gay than men fight to be men, or women fight to be women. But it's not that serious. If you want to be gay, that's your business. Just don't be trying to convert the youth. Why would you convert the children into a lifestyle when they don't even know who the fuck they is yet? The worst motherfucker in the homosexual community is the convert. That's what y'all don't get. The convert didn't intend to be gay, but he surrendered his will to a motherfucking predator that turned him out. That shit not cool. It's not cool to put teenagers in prison with grown-ass men that rapes teenagers. They pedophiles, hebephiles, whatever kind of foul, fagophiles, sissophiles. Them motherfuckers. So at some point, the people got to start to wake up and see what's going on around them. You can't fall for every motherfucking thing these motherfuckers doing to you and your people. Because if you don't stand up somewhere, then you might as well sit down everywhere. It got to be some part of the game that you say, no, we not going this route. This is not in the best interest of my children, my next door neighbor children, my cousin's children. This not in the interest of my motherfucking distant relatives around the world children. Nowhere on earth is this conversion, mass homosexual conversion of the youth normal. Not only is it not normal, it's a motherfucking military agenda used to usurp the people of the earth so that we don't even know. These motherfuckers that's talking around talking about trans men or women too, they the most confused motherfuckers because they can't give you the definition of a woman. If you can't give me the definition of a woman, go sit your bitch ass down and pick up a dictionary, encyclopedia, an etymological book, a lexicon, right? Go to the university, study anatomy, genetics, right? Look at the difference in chromosomal structures. The chromosomes say that you're supposed to be swinging to the motherfucking left. Every now and then, nature fuck up. Every now and then, nature fuck up and produce a motherfucker that's born gay. Do you know how few and far that shit is between, though? The ones that's born gay is so fucking rare that when we used to see that shit, we used to look at them and call them two-spirited people. Because you didn't see that shit like you see it now. Now they got whole television shows, the drag race. All you bitch ass niggas dress up like bitches, and then we gonna see how much of a bitch ass nigga your bitch ass can portray yourself as in the middle of the motherfucking stage, you drag race ass motherfucker. When I was a little boy and we talked about drag racing, we was talking cars. We didn't know nothing about putting on no goddamn skirt talking and lipstick. That's some Halloween shit. That's some scary ass motherfucking walking out of the grave ass shit. But y'all don't see what they doing to the minds of the youth. So you tolerating this shit. Everybody got a right, except the children don't got no rights. Nobody's respecting the rights of the child to grow into a competent and wholehearted adult. If the child don't have the opportunity to develop in a motherfucking safe and secure environment, he's going to be whatever the environment produced because that's all he fucking know. Pusillanimous ass, soft shoe, booty pinching motherfuckers. Goddamn homo testicle ass motherfucking cross-dressing motherfuckers. And they think that shit, and we ain't supposed to. Now, we'll talk about that shit until it come to them motherfucking dirty ass preachers, the priest, the imam, the sheikh, the rabbi, the kohen. Well, all them motherfuckers touching on the kids, don't nobody want to say nothing because they think God gonna get mad. I'm telling y'all personally what I know for a fact. God don't trust them motherfuckers. God don't want them motherfuckers around these babies. God don't need them motherfuckers around these babies. Them the first motherfuckers to run out of the community is the child molesting ass motherfuckers that call themselves representatives of God. Get rid of them motherfuckers first. Them the motherfuckers that's in the way. They blocking the door to motherfucking common sense and freedom. They blocking the door with motherfucking molested children and raped little boys that they turn into little girls because they know once they penetrate the boy anally and shatter his motherfucking root chakra, he's no longer fit to rule because soon as the sacred secretion rises, the shattered motherfucking root chakra is going to give him schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder. It's going to give him a nervous breakdown, an emotional breakdown, a psychological deviation from the norm, an aberration. That shit not normal. That's why in the motherfucking ancient code of kings, that when they call forth your semen, it better not come out of a man, and no man's semen better not come out your motherfucking ass. That's right in the Sumerian tablets. This shit is old. They already knew this shit when they started converting motherfuckers' kids into being motherfucking alternate gender. A 5-year-old is not going to tell. I've been knew I was heterosexual since I can remember. I was too young to fuck and I wanted some pussy when I was 4. I remember that shit clear as day. I used to see them motherfuckers. Hey, what's up with her? I'm straight as a fucking arrow. Just like my father, the motherfucking Queen Slayer. See, they got terms for all of us. And all of us got different roles, responsibilities, and functions. I'm just trying to get the people across the land to see that since the imposters have been on the land, they've been preventing our little boys from becoming men by anally penetrating them in a buck breaking process. The same way motherfucking, what's that bitch ass nigga name? Want some respect on his gay ass name? Birdman. Birdman hovering over Lil Wayne. Right? The nigga he live in concert. He fucked dudes too. He flat out said it out his own goddamn mouth. And he's turning out them little boys for a record contract. Oh, gay ass, bitch ass nigga. I wish he'd pull up on me. Talking about put some respect on his name. I'll slap that whole 5 off top of his head. Oh, rotten ass, no. And motherfucking secret government witness on motherfuckers and shit. Like we don't know he the number one motherfucking witness in motherfucking, what's the boy that got, Young Thug got indicted in Atlanta? Yeah, this the nigga that's gonna tell on him. The nigga gonna make sure that the RICO case is solid. The motherfucker that's gonna send him upstate wants some respect on his name. Oh, motherfucking homo. Take your ass upstate, homosexual ass motherfucker. It's a bunch of gay motherfuckers up there that you would jam with, right? All you sissy motherfuckers need to be put together in one goddamn boat. Now, that don't mean just because a person's sexual preference is different from mine, I got a problem with them. I have relatives that if you fuck with my cousins, I will beat your ass the same way as you will my sisters or my brothers, because they my cousins and we been jammed. They just like to go suck dick and I don't. But they good people. And they don't fuck with the kids. Because they got fucked with when they was kids, now they fucked up. Right? So since they fucked up now, I don't hold them responsible for that shit because they didn't fuck themselves up. The predators did. The molesters. The sexual motherfucking deviants in the family that they didn't want to cover up because they don't want the good man to do nothing to the bad man. Y'all motherfuckers got to get out of that shit because these new motherfucking sisters is not going to be tolerating the bad man being covered up to protect the good man. In other words, they going to go get a whole group of good men and they going to make them motherfuckers sit down and determine what they going to do with the bad man and how they going to handle it so that the good man not taken from the families. And so expect difficulty raising your consciousness. Expect resistance from people that's outside of you, because when other people sense your consciousness rising, your status level is moving up, people starting to hear what you talking about, they starting to respond, they starting to kick in the genetic memory, dig up the motherfucking receipts. You said this shit, Rod, but look what I found. It's even deeper than that. And they send me more receipts than I already had. These motherfuckers, our enemies, created something called a fucking gay bomb. A gay bomb. Go look it up. Senate hearings on the gay bomb. The Senate hearing on the gay bomb, because they wanted to use the gay bomb. First, they wanted to use it in World War II, but the Senate hearings because they wanted to use it in Vietnam. And they wanted to use this bomb to turn the soldiers and the homosexuals on the battlefield, so instead of worrying about the war, they can be tongue-kissing each other and slapping each other on the ass while the American military go ahead and invade them, as if that shit not going to affect their own soldiers. Then they got some shit called a heart attack gun. Right? You want to know why these motherfuckers be having these mysterious heart attacks when they get in perfectly good health? Go research the heart attack gun. You got a motherfucker in there, he's a motherfucking Kimbo Slice. Stone Cold Warrior. But they know if he start to recruiting other warriors that can scrap like him, and they run up in some of these office buildings for their shit, ain't nothing they can do about it, so they got to get rid of that nigga. So they probably shoot him with a heart attack gun. Right? But we don't believe that shit real. We don't be none of the shit these dirty motherfuckers do. They be doing this shit, but we be believing when one of us tell us who's behind it and what they doing. We don't want to accept that, mainly because of who it came from. Not because it's not true. They don't want you, nigga, you. The crazy motherfucker, the black sheep, that little quiet motherfucker, that little nappy head motherfucker, the weird motherfucker, the motherfuckers that's always out there playing with the dogs, climbing the trees. Nobody can't figure out what this nigga doing. That nigga ain't supposed to know the truth. The lazy motherfucker feel like they should know the truth. They should have it before you do, and they not gonna put in half the effort for none of that shit. Right? They not look. I know some gay people will fuck you up about trying to touch on some kids. I know some gay people that will fuck you up about trying to touch on some kids. Right? One of my favorite people at work was a gay dude. He never hit on me one time. We was jammed. Right? We was jammed. He never hit on me one time. But if I would leave my son with that motherfucker, if I needed a babysitter, because I know that if somebody fuck with my son, he gonna beat their motherfucking ass the same level as I'm gonna beat that motherfucker ass. He's not gonna tolerate it. And he's not gonna do it. Because he already know what it does to the children when they molested. Y'all motherfuckers got to realize it's not about abusing or beating up on people with different sexual preferences because you don't know how they got that way. It's about stopping motherfuckers from converting the children before they even know who the fuck they is. We need to stop promoting any form of sex to the children, let alone gay sex. We need this motherfucker stop fucking around. They don't need... Children shouldn't even be exposed to sexual concepts until they damn near a teenager. There's no way that a little 3-year-old should know something about telling a grown motherfucker about sucking a dick. That shit not normal. It's not right. It's not good for the children. It's not good for the future. Right? So, at this point, we have to look at what's really taking place in front of us. Right? We already know, all of us know 800 motherfucking thousand children a year consistently been coming up missing at least for about the last 25 to 30 years that we know about. Since they've been putting fucking faces on milk cartons. Right? We've been knowing over 800,000 children coming up missing annually in America alone. That's not counting Canada. That's not counting Mexico. That's not counting Venezuela. That's not counting Guatemala. That's not counting Haiti. That's not counting Dominica. That's not counting Jamaica. That's not counting Cuba. That's not counting Grenada. That's not counting Trinidad and Tobago. That's not counting St. Croix. That's not counting Colombia. That's only the United States continental. 800 motherfucking thousand children annually. Why is the number so fucking consistent? Can somebody tell me why the number's so consistent? It don't fluctuate. It don't change. It don't go from 60,000 to 800,000. It's 800,000 motherfucking children annually. That sounds like somebody made a deal somewhere. Somebody got a quota. Somebody got a definite amount of motherfuckers that they can take without having a motherfucking backlash. It's 800,000 a year. You can have 800,000 of our children to torture and to make your adrenochrome, to make your motherfucking baby liver pate, to make your motherfucking baby foreskin motherfucking skin cream, so you can make your motherfucking unholy Mary baby blood and motherfucking wine goddamn bloody Mary. All of this shit you motherfuckers doing with the children. 800,000 is the magic number not to exceed or decrease below, and the people ain't gonna do shit about it because they gonna be too busy going to work, sending their children to school where they being watched to determine when they gonna get that motherfucker next. They sending their children to school. They going to work. They helping their grandmama. They helping their mama They doing everything but looking at what's going on in the community and the resolution that brings about the solution to the goddamn grand finale of this shit. Get the fuck off the kids. Protect the children. Stop sending them motherfuckers to the educational system because they teaching them wrong on purpose so they can be a slave by default. They teaching them wrong on purpose so they can be a slave by default. If you don't know who you is, then you need to go somewhere and figure out who you is before you deal with the motherfuckers that you can't trust. Because you got to be able to trust yourself. But as long as you don't know yourself, you can't trust yourself either. Because you be done sold your ass out of ignorance because you don't trust what you feel about what you feel. You got to know the self in order to trust yourself, not to lead yourself down a dastardly path of destruction, doom, and gloom. But y'all gonna let these preachers tell y'all about some hell shit after you die when motherfuckers is catching hell in real time on earth in the physical live presence. But you gotta remember, to raise the consciousness is supposed to be difficult. It's supposed to be hard. Because you don't teach your children that you go through hard phases in life to test the grit of who you are. They never prepare themselves for when life gets miserable, hard, difficult. They feel the struggle. They feel the motherfucking pangs of oppression. They know something ain't right but don't know what to do. So they all get scared. They get nervous. They get weak in a moment of weakness. When the odds is most against them, they don't know they supposed to fight harder. They think that they motherfucker just supposed to give up, quit, bow out, surrender, capitulate. Man, fuck that shit. Tell your child life is supposed to get hard from time to time to test you to see what you learned up until that point. When it feel like there is no overcoming the obstacle, just remember one thing. This too shall pass. Right? All of this shit is going to pass. It's going to end up in the past. All of the pain is going to automatically turn into some form of strength if you endure it. The soreness after lifting the muscles is because the muscles is having to figure out how in the fuck do we get stronger for the next time we lift some heavy ass shit. So what the muscles do? They don't quit working on you. They recover, get stronger, work out again, break down, get stronger, recover, break down again. You're doing it on purpose. You're controlling your failure so your failure don't control you. But we don't want to tell the children that because we want them to have a fairy tale view of reality. A motherfucking Cinderella story. A Alice in Wonderland story. A story like Frozen about an ice princess. But it all boils down to one thing at the end of the day. Everybody gonna go through some difficult shit to determine who the fuck they is. If motherfucking Sleeping Beauty wouldn't have been asleep all that time when she woke up, she wouldn't have been the character that she turned out to be once she became awakened. Right? So when you're looking at forging an individual in the fires of life in order for them to be a benevolent and competent ruler with the interests of the most people in their heart, it's a process the same way it's a process to having your best life. The more work you put in the beginning, the more rewards you're going to receive at the end. And the shit come back like clockwork once you understand what your turnaround time is. You can catch every right bus and you can let every wrong bus pass you by. That's the same with if you in the ocean. You can catch the right sub, which is bus spelled backwards, and every wrong sub can go right up under your motherfucking ass and keep it moving. Don't expect shit to be easy. Don't expect people that you care about and that you love dearly to not talk bad about you behind your back. Because sometimes the people that you love and care about the most is the ones who drag you the most behind your back. It don't mean you don't love them, they don't love and care for you. It just means that they intimidated by who you becoming and they can't stop it nor control it. So now they have to talk about it because it's weighing on their heart heavy and they don't know what to do. And the people that they telling don't know that all they got to do is tell the person that's dragging you through the mud is, why don't you sit down and try to figure out what they talking about so they won't be talking so far over your head that you got to try to pull them down to your level in order to see what level they on, because apparently they're not going to dumb down for your dumb ass. So maybe your dumb ass need to wise up for the wise ones in order for you to get your lesson, right? So it's just motherfuckers just want shit the wrong way. They just want handouts. Life ain't never supposed to have been a handout. The goddamn cheetah got to hunt. The lion got to hunt. The gorilla got to forage. The motherfucking buffalo got to forage. The gators got to hunt. The crocodiles got to hunt. The fox got to hunt. The coyotes got to hunt. Right? All of the ones that don't hunt, they got to forage. They got to look for food under the bushes, behind the rock, in the trees, right? Everybody got to function to perform in order to form a functional function. You got a task. You got a job in your life. You're here for a reason unless you don't give yourself a reason to be here. Because if you're here without a purpose, that's because you haven't gave yourself a purpose, and that's how you end up being worthless. What's the meaning of life? It ain't got no goddamn meaning till you give it one. But as soon as you give it a meaning, you find value in it. As soon as you find value in it, you find a motherfucking place in your heart that allow you to understand how to overcome the struggle. Once you overcome the struggle, I'm going to be so glad when I overcome this shit, because when I come down on the other side, these motherfuckers ain't going to be able to hit me in the motherfucking ass with a shiny red apple. They ain't be able to hit me in the ass with a shiny red apple. Get that motherfucker to the teacher, because it won't do no good for me, because you won't hit me with it, right? So apple, they keep the doctor away, and they ain't going to be able to hit you in the ass with a shiny red apple when you endure your own struggle. You don't cry about it. Yes, you do, but you do it in private. But for the purpose of the ones looking at you, you're not crying about it. You're not complaining. You're not bitching and bickering. You ain't mad at the motherfuckers that loved you because they can't control you, right? Or you can't control them. That ain't how this shit go. Everybody go out, learn what you can learn, and teach what you can teach. Each one teach one. We all gonna reach some. And as long as we got this motherfucking desire burning deep down, right, we can come up. We just got to remember, it's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be a struggle. Struggle builds strength of character. If you want to be noble character, you have to refine the will and refine your character in the fires of time and education. You have to learn those things that you should know as a ruler. So that just gave me a 2-minute countdown. So all my people that was requesting, I'm gonna finish this one out, and then I'm gonna come in on the next one, and then I'm just gonna be taking all callers. But raising your consciousness is not supposed to be easy, but you can have fun doing it. It can be difficult, but you can turn that shit into fun. Turn all that hard shit into games, right? Because as soon as you start playing the games of life to win the game of life, that's when you take the misery out. And when the misery is gone, you will be avoiding all of the miserable company seekers, because misery love company, right? And it is what it is. So let these motherfuckers know, stay away from the children. Secure the children, stop sending them to the brainwash camp. Then once we secure the children, the men got to secure the women. The women got to start having sister gatherings leave your son with his daddy while you go take your daughter and y'all go meet up with the sisters. Because the energy of the mitochondria will do more healing in 30 minutes than 50 years of straight church would do in a lifetime. 50 years of straight church couldn't give you as much healing as 30 minutes of a sister group among sisters who love and care for one another without motherfucking conditions and restrictions. Without the motherfucking deception and deceit, the backbiting and the hate, right? Beware them women that talk about they don't like women. Trust. Sniff that bitch. If she tell you she don't like women, see if she smell like sardines. Oh, right. So this is Raising Cain, um, 1107. That's initiated over a master's flip. So I'm going to do some invites. Let me see who this is so I can make sure. Okay. I'm going to do these invites and then I'm going to take the first caller. But yeah, so we got to understand that this shit will not be as difficult as we making it out to be. If we know that it's supposed to be difficult, that's what makes it become easier, right? And is in Chaldees, the city of fire. So to make it easier, right, you become aware that the fact that it's supposed to be difficult. The difficulty refines the character, and the character develops the individual. All right. Where did she go? I think that's one of the gods. But you're supposed to have difficulty in life. Peace, God.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing good, man.
Where you
Hey, I
where
was
you
just
chiming in from?
Georgia.
Georgia? That's
Yes,
what's
sir.
up.
They got me out.
Georgia.
Yes, sir. They got me out here at work. But check this out though. I was chiming in because I had just want to ask you a few questions about something. Um,
Come on.
when I was, I don't know if it truly means something, but I know when I was young, I was born with like two holes on my ear right here, like one on this side and one on that side. They used to tell me when I was little that mean I could see like dead people or something like that. So I never really understood that. And then another situation when I was a little kid, like I want to say like 7 or 8, uh, we had like a family reunion, and I some kind of way slipped, hit my head, and rolled over into the pool. I was in the pool for like 20 minutes, like literally 20 minutes. And when they said they finally found me, they found me at the bottom of the pool. I was curled up like a baby, smiling. And so them people had said I was dead or whatever. But some kind of way I ended up coming back alive or something like that. But it crazy because when I so-called came back alive, I remember when I went outside from getting out of the hospital, I went outside and I looked directly at the sun and I said, it felt like I just left there or something. Like that how it literally had felt to me, literally. And I had told my mama that it like I feel something like I was just over there or something. My mama tell you so like I don't know, that was just weird to me. Well, it ain't weird to me, but what you think about that? Or what you say?
So, dealing with the second half first. Spirit messages come in as angels of light on angles of light. And the angles of light comes from the sun in the center of the solar system. The solar system is the center of the system of the soul. So when God, Creator, Big Mama, need to get message to you through Papa, which we call the sun, she tells the son what to tell the child in order for the child to be rightly guided, right? So water is an amplifier of the spiritual energy that comes in as angels of light on the angles of light that's coming from the sun. The melanin is the natural organic receiver to this information. The neuromelanin at the root of the spine or at the base of the spine called the pons region is where the black mirror is, where the translation of the spirit energy translates into terms you can comprehend in the brain. So whatever you was dealing with, the energy that you was responding from came from the sun, amplified in the water, and you was in what you call a dead state. But we know nothing dies, it just
Right.
transforms, right? So the dead state awaiting the transformation is the state that you had to be in to receive the higher conscious information from the sun. It just so happened that you was not aware of the self to the level to translate what you've seen. So you sought guidance from your mother when you say it seemed like I was just there.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I see.
Gotcha.
As
Okay.
for those holes on your ear, um, Rich, hold that question for Malachi Z. York because he's written about it before, and it means more than what he wrote about it. So until he give us the rest of the measure, it's only a brief mention in the measure to tell you that the measure has more.
Right.
Got it?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed night.
You too, God.
Yes,
Appreciate the
sir.
call.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, I'm about to take another caller.
All right.
I just invited somebody in with no profile picture. I don't normally do that. But we're about to see what's up. Just, they be trying to lie and wait, then spring up on you on a surprise like you can't defend
What's on,
yourself.
what's on my camera? Oh, hold on 1 second. Smooth taco. Damn.
Let's see who
Hey,
this.
hey, hey, what's up, Aunt? How you doing?
What's going on, guy? Where you calling from?
Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, you right down the street, man. You should have just came
Yeah.
up here and had a beer or something.
Yeah, how you doing? Now I was calling. I finally got a hold of y'all. I just wanted to just talk about a couple things. I know you was talking about the babies earlier, and I don't know, because through my life, like, it's been like when I was growing up, I had a lot of problems as a kid, a lot of traumas and stuff. And I was wondering, like, why people treat people like that. So I've been studying nature lately, and I read something about a lion, and it said that I was wondering because I started looking at the dollar bills, the triangle, and I noticed that the apex, the eye was at the apex, and I was like, "What is apex?" And it was like, "That's the top hunter, whatever it is." And they said that the lions is apex hunters, and I said, "Why is the lion an apex hunter?" And it said because no other animal will attack a mature lion. They'll attack a child, but they won't attack a mature lion.
Well, the apex predator, meaning that you're the top of the food chain in the area you developed.
Okay, and that goes with birds too, right? Because I
Right.
was wondering, like,
So in the bird family, you got what they call birds of prey, and
birds of prey.
then you got scavenger birds, and then you have the rest of the bird family.
Is that why they got the bird on the dollar bill and they call them bills to snatch the soul right up out of motherfucker with their fiat money?
No, the sun on the bird on the dollar bill is supposed to be the national symbol of the bald eagle.
Okay,
The
okay,
bald eagle is a bird of prey that has no known predators.
no predators.
Right.
Okay,
Now, the bald eagle being the symbol for the nation is actually to tie us to the biblical contract. There, where the eagle is gathered and the
okay,
carcass, that's where the coming of the Son of Man. Right. So it's talking about the valley of dry bones of Ezekiel being hovered over by a bird of prey. A bird of prey doesn't hunt the dead.
it doesn't hunt the dead,
No, it's not a
just
scavenger.
vultures. Okay, it's not a scavenger.
But the scavenger flies with the birds of prey, and they are the ones that's looking for the carcass. So
Okay.
in one of the talons of the eagle, he have 13 swords. I mean,
Okay.
arrows. He had 13 arrows.
13 arrows.
And in the other
Yes.
one, he has a 13 leaf
So
olive
in the other
plant.
hand. In the other hand. Olive, is that olive leaves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Olive.
Now,
Okay.
the 13 arrows is supposed to be the 13 colonies, but that's not true. It's the 12 daughters of Isis and their
Isis.
baby brother.
Okay.
Those are the 12 or the 12 organic peoples of the earth. The
Okay.
oldest of the daughters in Kemetic culture is the Sekhmet energy. She
Segment.
is,
That's the lion head, right?
yes.
Okay.
So she is the daughter that's the heir.
To the throne.
Right. She's the heir to the throne or the Isis seat. The son gets his power from that sister, which is almost always the oldest sister.
Okay. Is this son Horus?
Horus is the son in the holy drama that they're talking about. But
And he's a hawk, right?
right, another bird of prey.
The fastest bird, right? The hawk, right? They said the hawk was the fastest
I think
bird.
it's the falcon that's the fastest.
Okay. I thought it was one of them. I remember.
Yeah, but they easy to get mixed up.
Okay.
Right.
And I was
Okay,
I
now
was reading.
and you read in
I'm sorry. You go on.
when you're reading in the hieroglyphics, the son that's the chosen heir, represented by Heru, he
Haru.
need he need to be crowned by two sisters. Now remember, he is the son already of Aset. So he needed her daughter that's the heir, Sekhmet, and her daughter that's her main ally, Nephthys.
Nephthys.
Right. Nephthys is the auntie that they call the pearl.
Pearl.
Right.
Okay.
So now when you read the Moses story and they said that the Pharaoh's niece drew Moses from the water and gave her to her auntie, which was his real mother, which was his staged mother in the house of Pharaoh. They're telling
Okay.
you that the Nephthys went with Aset to collect the parts of Osiris.
Okay. It's with ISIS, right?
Right. And
Okay.
then when the son become of age to take the rulership reigns from the father,
Hmm.
then Sekhmet has to be the one that he is engaged to.
Okay.
So she becomes his wife and his sister.
Okay. Segment.
Right.
Okay.
Because she is the rightful heir, and the only way to get the rightful heir is the family redeemer's job is to marry the chosen daughter of each of the royal families. This is how he become the family redeemer.
Okay. Haru.
As the family redeemer, the first family has to always redeem his own family first. So the daughter that is the heir of his family is his first wife, even if he don't never know it in his lifetime.
Okay. But
Because
it will be
the cultural changes, a lot of these things are not adhered to.
okay. So just like as time goes, as he reincarnates next life, it will be his wife, right? His daughter.
No, in the life that he's the family redeemer.
Family redeemer.
Okay, he's the chosen prince to be heir to the kingdom,
Okay.
right? But the only way he can be activated is by the mother and the father presenting the sister as his first consort.
Okay.
because she is the heir under mitochondrial to the wealth of the family. He is the ruler. He is the heir to the rulership off the father line.
Or the father
So,
was.
right. So, in order to secure the wealth, you marry the ruler. The one who inherits the right to rule is married or espoused to the one who's going to inherit the wealth.
Okay.
And that's the
Okay.
only way to have a functional royal family. She's going to
Okay.
get the money. The money
Okay.
comes in from the mother line
From the
because
mother
the
line.
mother line is called the
Crumble.
true line.
The true line
It's
because of the
right.
mitochondrion, right?
It's
Okay.
the main line, the red line, the hot line.
Hotline.
So
Okay.
when we used to go to church and they were saying Jesus on the main line, they talking about Isis is the mother
Nice.
at the end of the mother line. If you know how to communicate telepathically through your genetic line, she can directly communicate and guide you into your best life.
Wow.
Right. So mama's only job as Oshun energy is to make sure her son gets somebody with Oshun energy. That's called unconditional pure love with a golden heart.
Wow. Okay. Because I was looking because I had how I started like kind of waking up one day. I looked in the sky and I kept looking at the star. I didn't know what I was looking at, but I think it was Sirius. But then I started looking at Venus, and I know they said that was the morning star, and that was Jesus, the Lucifer. Lucifer was the morning star too. But then I was seeing that Venus was like right by the sun, but it was in the constellation of Leo. But every picture of Ayana and Isis, I always see them with the lion with them. So
Or
that's
with a lion face. They'll come in because they'll have them. See, a lot of time we will get the iconography confused because we'll see what look like 5 different segments,
yeah.
but
They
they'll
want to
all
be
be wearing a different dress.
different dress.
That's because they come from a different family. They the heir for a different family,
Okay.
right? That's called building the pride.
Okay.
We're
Same way.
talking about feminine right to rule. The
Is it
family.
kind of like? No, I'm sorry. Is it like counterfeit what Jacob did with his 12 tribes, with his sons when he tried to make like his sons? Is it like is it that counterfeit off of what he's trying to do with his sons, his 12 sons of Jacob, Jakub, like Judah, his sons,
Yeah, so he's trying to
Levi, and them?
replace. Listen, Jacob is the supplanter, the underminer, right? That means that Jacob and the 12 tribes of Jacob and the sister being in the place of the son is Diana, right? So Diana allegedly got raped, and the sons of Israel slaughtered the Canaanites that raped her whole family, except for the women. They took them to rape.
To rape. They would call booty, or how when they take them.
So,
Okay.
now in esoteric teachers, when they see this event taking place, they call it the Great Rape Campaign to subjugate the women of the earth.
So I was reading something too about Allah, about one of the daughters, about the name Allah came from. I can't pronounce it right, but I think it was like Ale, but it was supposed to be Urshagal, Anana's sister. I remember you said,
Allah.
the Muslim, Allah, yeah, they were supposed to be, I remember you said that sin was supposed to be Allah. And then Urshagal Nana Sin's daughter. So that would make sense, right? Because they said that when I was reading it, was saying that the name Allah was the name of, he had 3 daughters, the 3 daughters of Allah. But then I took the name, I couldn't pronounce what you
Okay,
said, and it
so
was,
look, stop right there. They can't be the 3 daughters of Allah when they older than Allah.
right.
Right? He can't have 3 daughters before his ass is born.
Sin, basically, right. Okay.
Right. So I'm not going to go into that because that's a whole lecture that you're going to now. We moving into the territory of delivering a whole lecture on the breakdown of the idols of the Kaaba.
Okay.
That's a whole lot of shit. Now, I don't want to unpack that shit right now.
Okay. I have like one more question. I was wondering something weird about my birthday. Because I'm left-handed, and my birthday is December 31st. I try to do. I did the little constellation thing. We lined them up the planets. I mean, they was lined up weird when I was born. I was wondering if that has anything to do with it.
So when you left-handed, that means that your mother line is in control,
Okay.
right? So, the 13, you was born 12/31. The turnaround is 13, which is the Queen Mother, on the flip, and the 12 is the countdown off of the 2-1. Well, we say off the 1 in rap back in the early days, but before that it was 1, 2, 1, 2,
That's
1,
the 2-1 beat,
3,
right? The
go.
2-1.
Right.
The blues was 1, 1, 1. Then it got 1, 2, right? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's about
All right,
it.
guys, I'm gonna
Yeah.
take another caller.
All right. Good to talk to you.
All right. Thanks for calling in, bro.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have to get you a profile picture because you almost didn't get up here.
I know. Okay, yeah, I gotta get one. I don't really like I try to I don't really like social media too much
I can't
for real.
stand this shit, but
I
you
can't.
gotta have a profile picture because I don't normally take people without a profile picture because the
Yeah, I'll
dirty
get
lords
one.
be using those blank accounts like that to try to
Yeah,
blindside the motherfuckers.
man.
But I'm waiting
Can
on
I do
their
one
ass
more
and
thing?
I'm ready.
Okay, can I, one more thing. I'm gonna let you go. Okay, the Santa Claus story. Okay, now I
No,
was
no,
trying to
no,
line.
no.
Oh,
I'm not finna go there.
okay.
I'm finna take another
I
caller.
was talking about Zorpedi. All right, yep.
All right.
All right.
As soon as you said Santa Claus story, I know we was about to go down the rabbit hole. I'm gonna take another caller and need a sister. When you see hieroglyphics on the wall in your sleep, that means there's a spirit message that you need to learn to translate, and it's specific to you and your ancestors. Somebody asked the question.
What the hell? Hold on. Oh, I be a
Hey
monkey's uncle. What's up, Ryan? What's
there.
up?
What's going on? Where you
Look, I
calling
was on
from?
my way to Oklahoma, Arkansas. Oklahoma, Arkansas. God damn.
That's what's up.
Look.
Arkansas in the house, Razorback territory.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm gonna roll with Oklahoma right now because they backwards as hell down here. But okay. Look, I didn't even think I was gonna get in. Look. Hey, gratitude though. Big ups to you. Like if you the only person that could have came and did this shit. Like you got patience. I be waiting for you to jap the hell out, but you be so cool, calm, and collected and sincere and shit. But you be putting all the little puzzle pieces together for me, and I'm like, hey, that's what's up. My people from Mississippi and went to Chicago, then Michigan and wherever. But I got a question because I'm the black sheep of my family too. But I don't give a
And
fuck. They
somebody
kiss my
said
ass.
clean your lens so your camera could show a clearer picture.
Look, it's fucked up. Look, I'm broke. I don't be worried about these phones. I don't be worried, but I turn like that. I don't know if you can
Oh,
see me
I ain't
though.
tripping. I was just telling you because somebody in the comments mentioned I can see.
Yeah. And then my ass is black too, and it's dark in here, so it's the camera and I'm dark, but it's good. It's
You
good.
don't look black to me. You look more like chocolate, maybe a little coconut or cocoa. You don't look black
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Look, Coco, yeah. I mean, my ink don't be showing up on these tattoos. That's why I said black hell. I don't get no color. But
That's because
I got a
they got colors for that though. They call ultra colors. The ultra colors don't fade, and they show the fuck up.
oh yeah. Well, that must be some new shit. I ain't had a tat in about 8 years.
No,
It's like
it's been around, but it's normally more expensive, And the average nigga get a tattoo, try to go cut corners and get the cheap ink.
That's me. I'm the average nigga. That's me. That's me right there. You know, I'ma smoke with you, hook me up, you know, whatever. As long as them needles be clean. But I be trying not to tap out. I be holding it. Yeah, I can't. I smoke myself to death. Hell. But I get enough to get the outline. You know what it is. Just ask me if you get it confused. I'll tell you. But yeah, they ain't finished. They ain't finished. They not finished. Can't do it. Can't do
I
it.
already know
Yeah.
you. I already know you the life of the motherfucking party. When your
Yeah,
birthday?
I am. October 1st.
Oh,
I'm a Libra.
yeah. You always coming in on some balance, funny shit. Okay, I got you.
No, but you know, I got love-hate relationship with people. Because they
Mm-hmm.
either love me or they hate the love me or love me, hate, you know. But every time somebody see me, this what they say. They say, hey, how you doing with your mean ass? What you been up to? That's every time. I've been mean all my life. I just be like, all right, I'm good. You know, whatever. Okay. So I'm
I
trying to
told my
embrace
mama
all
one
this.
time. Look, I told my mama one time. I said, my mama said, what kind of woman, what kind of wife you gonna marry when you grow up? I said, a real mean one. She said, why would you marry? She said, why would you marry her? I said, I don't want her to be mean to me. I want her to be mean to everybody else, though.
Everybody else. Yup.
Be mean to
Yeah,
everybody
but
else.
I be mean.
That's how you keep the milkman in his place.
Yeah. I be fine. I just tell them the truth. Cause I just got two rules in life. Like I wanna mind my business, be fruitful, multiply, and not impose on nobody. So if you come fucking with me, then like we got some issues. But I never step on no toes. But people use and abuse. But I was going to ask you something, cause like, you know, all my life, you know, I see them little shadow people and shit. And I be seeing just different shit. People be like, you crazy. My kids be like, you weird as hell. I be like, that's cool though. I like quirky because I'm cool as hell. I mean, I be weird, but I call it quirky. But like my mama, when she was born, she had a twin, but the twin died. Okay, so then was her. Then when I came in, I was blue, so I was half-assed dead. Then I had complications with my
Wait,
daughter.
wait,
It's
wait, wait,
ICU.
wait, wait, wait. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. You
Yeah.
said when you was born, you was blue, and you assume that mean you was half dead.
I couldn't breathe. I wasn't breathing. They put me in one of them
Listen,
tanks for like 2
don't.
weeks. And what's
That's
that?
all. That's cool. All that's cool. My daughter was born perfectly healthy, and she was green.
Really?
I'm
Because
just
they call
telling
me
you.
Misha Blue Green. My last name is Green, but I was born blue, so they be like Misha Blue Green. And so they didn't call me that all my life, you know?
Yeah, that's aqua.
Aqua, okay. I hate water. I can't swim at all. Will not. I cannot. Will
You
not.
better learn. You better learn.
I can swim underwater. I can float and I can doggy paddle. Long as don't no wave come in and no shit, I'm good. I just float and keep flapping or something. But I'm not gonna drown. I ain't gonna drown. But yeah, I don't fuck that water.
Hey, you
I
know
don't
I
fuck that
learned
water.
how to swim. Trying to get my nephew to swim, I almost drowned myself, and that's how I learned how to swim.
Right, I just ain't got it in me. I grew up in the country, so my
You got
uncle, they left.
listen. You can learn to swim if you want to learn to swim. You got to
Okay,
face
I
your
don't want to learn. I
listen.
don't want to learn,
You
but I
have
need to.
you have to face your fears if you want to overcome them, right? So
Right.
what when people have fears or phobias, that's their life nemesis. The fear that they got to overcome. Some people are definitely afraid of dogs, and you know what? I give them a puppy. I give them a puppy. Because if they get attached to the puppy, the attachment to the puppy as it becomes a dog is slowly erasing the fear of the dog.
Okay.
So by the time they got a dog, now they might not like other people's dog, but they no longer is in that fear energy.
Mm, mm. What I heard you tell me is get a life jacket, girl. Get a life jacket and go do it. I'll try, but
Well, sometimes you have to go. You have to go with people that you enjoy being around, so you can make the swimming experience a joyous occasion, and that'll make you more apt to learn to swim, and it'll also override that fear response too. So you don't have to go out getting into a 12-foot pool. You can go out and get into a 5-foot kiddie pool. Long as you can stand up in the water over your head, you can practice.
Uh, Look, I can't even. I can't see without my glasses. I was trying to get in the other day, and see, I'm old. I don't know how to work this stuff. And it said invite. I'm tapping this damn screen, just tapping this shit, just tapping this shit. That ain't even the damn invite button. It was somewhere else. I had to go get the grandbaby. Show me where the damn invite button was. I said,
You
Lord, okay, okay,
don't look
yeah.
old enough to have no grandbabies.
I'm 44. Yeah, I told my kids don't give me no grandkids till I was 40. And hell, boop, here come one. And then on Mother's Day, right before Mother's Day, my daughter's like, "What you want to get for a grandbaby?" And I was like, "Girl, shut the hell up!" And boom, here she come with a grandbaby. And
44.
and that's a little pandemic baby. She a little terror. Like she pick up on. Yeah, she's smart as hell. She's smart. I said she been here for 4. She remind me of my Aunt Josephine for some reason. I'll just be like, she
Josephine,
feisty.
that's my daughter grandmama name.
For real. Yeah, she
Yeah.
remind me of my Aunt Josie. I just be like, ooh. And she
Josephine,
got that little arm.
that's the Noble line. That's Chicago Peastone line.
Yeah,
Seven
you see, my
seven sisters.
auntie was the vice lord. My uncle was a GD. My grandpa used to have a club down there on Lake Street. And then he moved his other family out to Michigan while he left them, how they do it back in the day. But he could afford to, hell. But yeah, people keep telling me I got curses and stuff put on me, but I don't listen to nobody. But like I don't play no victim, but I just be wondering, like, I had to fight to get in this mug. My baby had to fight, her baby had to fight. Maybe we is cursed or something. I don't know what be going on
Or
in my world.
maybe all that fighting y'all doing to come in was that y'all was born to be warriors.
I got a warrior spirit. I do. I be seeing little shit, but I don't know. I don't know.
So look, what you have around you is a bunch of ancestors that you see as shadows.
All the
And
time.
yeah, they can only stay by your permission. If you tell them to leave, they have to go. But the ones that's trying to help you, you want to tell them to stay. And the ones that's trying to mislead you, you want to tell them, go sit your motherfucking ass down in the corner somewhere, get the fuck out of my life, fucking it up with your foul ass energy. And that's how you clear generational curses.
Okay.
Now the
Okay.
good ancestors waiting on you to bitch check the fucked up ancestors so they can ride their ass on the other side to bump them straight from the fuck ups that they was doing in their lifetime. So they don't pass that energy down through you. You have to stop that ancestor from putting a negative energy in the family line by confronting that energy when it shows up in the self. That's part of shadow work too.
Yeah, working on some shit. That's some deep shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's some deep shit. You gotta face a lot of trauma. That's some deep shit.
Look, the easiest way when you facing trauma to view it is keep replaying it until it has no more emotional effect. Just keep reviewing it until it doesn't affect you anymore. That's called exhausting the emotional hold of that energy. Once it's exhausted, it can't stay. It can't stay there no more because it's ran its course. It's only there to weigh you down and lead you astray.
Mm.
So when you face the trauma and you relive it enough for it not to be effective of you, it doesn't
Mm.
infect your life because you dealt with it.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. I be emotionally detached. So I guess I don't recognize a lot of my traumas because logically I analyze things and I'll be like, well, you know, I
This
can
is how
see
you
from a
find them.
logical point.
You find them by your emotions is the navigational system. When you feel an emotional response in your body,
Mm-hmm.
then you ask yourself, is it in context? And if you looking at everything and say, I shouldn't be this mad because somebody ate the last cookie, right? And now you
Right,
know
right.
that that's tied to a trauma.
Okay.
It's tied to a trauma because it's out of context. The trauma, the trauma causes the thing that you shouldn't be traumatized about to affect you to the point where it can push your buttons out of context. And this is how you bump straight, making sure that
Okay.
your emotions are in context. So if somebody slapped the shit out of you, right, and you beat
Mm-hmm.
their ass instantly, when you review it, you wanted to know that was your response appropriate for
It always is.
right. But
Yeah.
no, when you working from a trauma, your response is gonna be over the top. But when you're not working from the trauma, you understand that sometime in order for you to do us right, you gotta chop a motherfucker in the throat, push their snot box
Okay.
back, turn their spit rig, get their back dirty.
Right, right, right.
So that's facing the traumas, they'll elude you a lot of times because they will seem like they emerging from within the self. But that's because somebody put the trauma in you in order for it to even be coming from within you.
Right, 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 right.
And the only true trauma is a trauma that somebody outside of you inflicted upon you. It's not yours. So stop owning that shit. And that's how you
Right,
release. You release that energy at that point.
right. Okay. Yeah, you because you said because somebody ate the last thing. Like I snapped yesterday. Like I fried all that damn chicken, and I went in there and somebody ate the last 2 pieces of chicken wings. When I tell you it's a hole in the wall, yeah, I be triggered. It's trauma. It's trauma. It's trauma. Yeah, that's what's up though. Okay, right. That's good. Good, good. I'm cool now. I'm gonna smoke the last little piece of my stuff and go to sleep. I didn't think I was gonna get in, but I'm glad I did. And I'm thankful I got to talk to you. And I'm gonna let somebody else get in here because I can talk forever. Okay.
Okay.
All right then.
All right. One day I was crying. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing? What's up, guy?
What's up, Aunt?
I like to see it when the couple laying there watching my shit together. Y'all be like,
Oh
what's
yeah,
going on over here? Do you hear what that nigga just said? And
we
she be
had to,
laughing, you be laughing.
we had to send a request from her page because I ain't got no profile picture myself, so I
I
know
just
you
heard you
ain't
talk
gonna
about that
check.
shit too, didn't
Mhm.
you?
Yeah, I had wrote you before. We got well, we got 2 questions actually. We got one coming in a couple months. Uh, and the birth certificate thing was something that the doula that we have and the midwife that we have talked about, and they asked us how we wanted to do the birth certificate. So they suggested, the one that we have got that we ain't gonna do. Then they suggested a no. What's the
We
other?
can do a home birth certificate, like a doula birth certificate, just to have for proof of birth at home, but it doesn't do anything outside of that. Like it
Right.
won't be notarized
That's
or
because
anything.
right now we finna change over from a system where the birth certificate was a performance bond on the youth for his life labor. So what y'all need is called a family book,
Yeah.
right? Every child's supposed to have a family book. And when you christen the child, the doula announces the vital statistics of the child to the family that's present, right? And the child was born on this day at this time, weighed this amount of money. And they call it a baptism. But the way that you see a baptism now, it's not a baptism. Because the baptism, you're supposed to be reading to the family the entry of the new family member, and starting his family book, right? So he's supposed to have 3 books. The black book is the one that's part of Big Mama record. The blue book is the lessons that the men in the family want to teach the male child. The red book is the one that the sisters in the family, the elder women, want to teach the child as he grows up. So when you have like birthday parties, right, you'll put the books out, the red one and the blue one, and the family members responsible for or who offered to teach a certain thing will write in the ledger. And this is how you knew who knew how to do what. Uncle Charles wrote in the family book, in the blue book for the son, that he taught him on this day, and it took him this long to learn how to perform plumbing functions in a home. So now we know that Uncle Charles taught the baby boy how to be a competent plumber, and it took him 3 years to do it because it's in his family book. And so this is how you made. So the child grows into an adult. The only person that write in the black book is mama, daddy, and big mama. Big mama is the matriarch in the family. She's the one who validates the black book. The black book go with all of the family books at Big Mama house, right? And the mother's mother keep the red book, and the father's father keep the blue book for the event.
All right. Appreciate that. One more thing. Me and my girl been following you for a while now. We've been guided up until this point by, getting messages from the other side. Like whenever I hear you speak, I always see that it ain't just coming from no book. It's coming from the other side. The lady that you just seen next to me is 100% clairvoyant. So she get messages at will. You was talking about how back then I think you said we didn't have wars like that. We intermarried across land. Like,
So the marriages was the joining or uniting of families for political purposes. So when we was marrying people from Africa on the east coast of the North and South America and in the islands, on the west coast, we was doing business and trade and marrying back and forth across the Pacific, down into the Polynesian islands, going into Hawaii, going into like Thailand and the Philippines and China and Japan. We was always trading with them.
right.
Right. So when we called for the Gullah Wars, a lot of Polynesians went to Florida. That's why they got large communities in Florida. Some of them stayed in California as a outreach, so they can have what they call a jump station. What it is when they come to the mainland from the Polynesian islands, they would land in California and they would check in with the royal family of California, and then they would plot their path to get them safely to the Gullah Wars.
Yeah.
In Florida.
Only reason I brought that up is because she come from a long line of witches, Egyptian witches. And right, and I trace my bloodline back all the way to the Muskogee tribe. I've been doing my genealogy, my ancestry for a while now. Say what's up. Who that
Hey,
is?
what's going on, youngster?
What his name is? Right, hey, Uncle Rod. He was like,
Hey
man, I ain't
man,
gonna watch
out of
no Rod.
everything else, man, what make me know this shit is worth it is when the youth see me and they have a smile on their face
Yeah,
and they know who I am.
yeah,
I don't give a fuck about what these old spineless jellyfish ass niggas what they think. I care
yeah.
about what the children think. I care about inspiring them to be greater than what they was told they can be by this system we in.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see the children, they see me and they be, hey, Uncle Rod, boy, I be so
Yeah.
happy.
Tell him what you is. Tell him what you is. A shaman. A shaman.
That's what's up. Hey, look, inbox me, man. I want to send him a couple of books.
Oh, we been on it.
Yeah, I want to send him a couple of books.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate the info. We're gonna be tapping in with you, Mo.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
All right. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. I know you.
Oh, this is my guy right here. He wasn't next, but I had to put him in here because he be doing the work for translating what I be saying for younger people to be able to understand it. This brother is very critical for the struggle. And he been, ever since he ran across me, he been putting in the work. Come on, guy, where you at? Yeah, that's the promise of the future. The children are the promise of the future. As long as women having babies, we've been secured the future. When they stop having babies, somebody been fucked up. Um, Temple Binya, Binia, however you pronounce it. I can't go more into detail without the questions because it was a pretty detailed description on how you keep a family record for each one of the children. Hold on, I'm gonna try again. I'm trying to invite you back in again, God.
What's
Speak,
up,
God.
man?
Man, you've been getting it in. I've been checking you out. You've been putting
Yeah,
in work.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying, man. I'm doing
And you
everything
ain't
that you're
trying, you
doing.
doing it. You doing
Yeah, I
it.
appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. You are you showing up on this planet at this time in this moment was meant to happen, man. So you are changing so many lives, and mine's one of them, man. Like when I first heard you talk, I was like, hold on, man. I feel something a little different. I've been trying to channel Thoth, kind of, just trying to put in that work, trying to get that vibration, trying to bring that signal in. And then I heard you, then I heard you speaking, bro. And it was like, okay, it's time to try to do some things, man. It's time to free my mind and help free my people's mind. So I appreciate you saying that, Rod. That's big. That's
Yeah,
big to hear you come out.
look, I've been watching. And then, one of the good things is because, like, some of my word selection is because I had to reach people with more information than the youth, right? But I
Yeah.
also got to figure out how to get to the youth. And then you explain what I just said, and the youth can grasp it how you explain it. And it makes it even simpler to understand. But
Yeah.
really, you ain't translating it for the youth. You translating it for them old ignorant motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's a fact.
But you're doing a
It's a
good
fact.
job though,
Yeah, I
right?
appreciate you, man.
Because they see what you saying, they can see it clear, and then the way that you reference the information to be so accurate,
Hmm.
they
Yeah,
can't miss. It's
right.
that's why two heads better than one.
And then 15 heads are better than one. And I think we got 199. We just hit 200. 200 heads is better than one. You know what I'm saying? You building that army, man. Um, One of the things that I was thinking about is we have 200 people, 202 people that are live right now, right? Some people are going to go and they're going to listen to you and they're going to take this message. They're going to wake up in the morning. They're not going to do anything with it, right? Like, what do you think you need to say, or what can we say to these people, these 204 people, to say, y'all are powerful people? Every single person in here has some kind of ability. You know, it might be astral projection. It might be telepathy. It might be, you know, mind reading. We all have these powers, but so many of us don't really truly believe it. Right. So we come on here, we hear Rod and we get excited. Then we wake up in the morning and we go do our own thing, our work. What do we really need to say to people to help them really realize the power within them? You know, that's one of the things that I tried to put out there. What's your take on it? How do we reach these people that are just gonna turn the live off and go about their business?
Well, fortunately, the way that we've been putting in the work, a lot of people who had lost faith in themselves because of religious dogma
Right.
is starting to find that desire to be more now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right. So it's not, at this point, we're not really worried about if they get up and do something in the morning, because the energy that they download when they understand the information, it's going to move them.
All right.
It's going to move them. You are a living example of what I'm talking about.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody in here, there's 208, 209 people now. Everybody in here is looking to see how are we deciphering the real-time events so that we can see further up the road. But we have to remember, tomorrow ain't here because we're not done creating it yet.
Right.
And yesterday is gone because we burnt that bitch down, so we can't go back over that bridge.
Right.
Right? So we operate from the now to get to the future. And we remember why we burned yesterday down, because it wasn't functional.
Yep.
Whenever we all get to a collectively functional common denominator for a day, we defeat time.
Right.
Because now we know that if we can not pass our hatreds to the children, they won't grow up embracing those hatreds. When we figure out that the hatreds was a gift from the oppressor to allow us to be on autopilot with our oppression and to oppress ourselves on their behalf, right? Then they start to see different things to do. And this is what's drawing everybody to the information that we've been working so diligently to put out, because the information changes the energy signatures in their heart and mind. So they're going from flatline beep to beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
Right? Now, all we got to do is let them, their heart beat a little stronger so they can get out the ICU.
Right.
Right? Once we get them out the ICU, we can start working them toward getting out the hospital.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So it's stages. We doing the work. And the hardest part is to realize the process takes time.
It truly does. Yeah.
And it take how much time it take. And it's on the schedule that only Big Mama know the answer to. Because it's already been written and declared that no man knows the day or the hour. By default, what's omitted? They didn't say the woman didn't know.
Right.
So she can determine the day and the hour by tuning in to what's known as the feminine line or the feline or the cat line. Which
Hold on, let me stop you real quick. I love when you start getting into this shit. It's like, Roz, you better hit screen record because Roz's about to go in. Go ahead, bro.
So the feline is the feminine line. It's the mother line of psychic contact because the cat symbolizes communication with the spirit realm. So when we're dealing with the feline, the feminine line, right, now we talking about the daughters of Isis, the Sibyls.
Okay,
right?
keep going.
The Sibyls mean they all different and distinct individuals with their own mind, but they also operate as a collective unit.
Okay.
Right? And
Yep.
when you see one, you see the quality and the character of the next one you're going to see.
Okay.
It's almost like seeing a different person wearing a different avatar.
Okay.
Right? So they got the same belief system. They got the same goodness of heart. Right? And they tapped in together through a psychic network of sisters. Right? So now, when they realize that you don't have to tell them about their superpowers, because when they realize that they can psychically talk to other sisters on the Sybil line, then they realize that they're using a fucking superpower in real time.
Real time.
They activating that X-Men gene, the mutant gene.
Man, you don't know how, I know I sent you like, that video the other day, and I was talking about some things, and we're trying to, as a group, kind of keep things a little private. But just based off what you said there, people are going to freak out, man. These things have been happening to me and some of my friends, these synchronicities, things that people say, like exactly what you're talking about right now, is exactly what a lot of the people that, I'm dealing with need to hear, man. Trying to come into this world, and we're seeing just all this evil, all this bad stuff happening, especially to our women and our children. It's really motivated us to put in that extra work. But a lot of it has to come through these psychic connections. And the women, man, that's where it's at.
Every woman is a Tesla coil. Yeah, every woman is a Tesla coil.
Yeah,
and when they awaken in mass like that, those Tesla coils form a grid all over the earth, because you can't go nowhere where people at and there ain't no women there.
That's right. I
don't care if they the good guy or the bad guy, the black guy or the white guy, the Hispanic guy or the Asian guy, the Australian guy or the New Zealand guy, whether they in the North Pole or the South Pole.
Right.
There's always a woman there if there's some men.
There's always going to be a woman there.
Yep. Wherever there's people at, there's women there.
That's right.
So Big Mama got a dog in every fight.
Every fight. Yeah, these women are powerful, man. I mean, being around some of them, man, that mitochondrial starts kicking up, and boy, I can do some stuff. It's like, I can't do it. You show up, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
it's quite remarkable, man.
And when they start giving you that unconditional love energy,
yeah,
shit, motherfucker think he got bars. He started rapping. He started rapping like an alien from another galaxy. He think he got skating skills. He go to the skating ring. This motherfucker could hit a
roll bounce
on one wheel and a backflip.
Yep, that's exactly how I'm feeling.
And then that's why you need cheerleaders at football.
Yep.
If the cheerleaders don't like the players on the team, they ain't gonna win.
They gonna suck. Yeah, they're gonna suck.
If the cheerleaders love the guys that they cheering for, this gonna be the hardest team for your ass to beat. and because we don't know the science, we don't know that the purpose of the cheerleaders is to give a mitochondrial boost to the home team.
Yep, that's what it is.
And to draw the love energy from the team that's in the crowd to pass it on, and they become like the Transformers.
Yep.
Jumping the energy from the cheerleaders to the players.
Yep, that's crazy, man. The things that you come up with, man, like, golly, my journey It started with Chancellor Williams' Deconstruction of Black Civilization. And from there, that's when I started Lineage, right? And my business isn't about selling a thing. You know, I put books on there, but it's about really trying to help people understand where we came from, how deep that rabbit hole goes. I tell people a little bit about, because I heard you tell the story about.
So I'm gonna get this one. This is the third episode. I call this one "Good Vibes." Calling me back, cause the bill was so positive, and it's like I got called right back. We ain't done with this shit. No, we got some more talking to do to the people. This shit is, it's too constructive to quit right now. Like I would normally be done, but the energy is building too good to bag out now. Uh, uh, so we just gonna keep talking to the people for another hour. And hey, I ain't in no hurry. Hey, beloved.
Hey, love, it's me again with the black book.
Yeah, tell them where you calling from.
Well, I mean, I'm in Atlanta, but I'm from Virginia.
Okay. ATL,
Yeah.
33rd parallel.
Period. Okay. So I'm opening up the black book. I just got a couple of questions because I know you got a long line.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you was talking about the Moors, it's like the Moors was like, why are we the feathers and they the fezes? Why do people claim to be Moors?
Because in the Conjure War, we
Mm-hmm.
had to take their fezzes by education and learning while we had amnesia. So when the challenge is to put us together, we not supposed to be intelligent enough to overcome their position as fez wearing masters from the East.
Mm-hmm.
We are feather wearing, nature living people. And they thought that we were backward savages because they called us insects. They said we act like bees and ants because we surround Big Mama, the queen. They said that we was parasites, right? But they called us a parasite because we live with and for each other into harmony.
Right.
And they said that we was acting like parasites, but that was because they was coming with a parasitic agenda.
Right.
Right? So so we have to win affairs and they have to win our feathers. They win the feathers when they are confronted in a challenge. So if I ask a Moor a question about the Moor science and he can't answer it more than I can, I just took his fez in the Conjure War. Right?
Okay.
Now, once I'm really good and I can take 4 fezzes, then I'll have the title El Bay or Bay El behind my name.
Oh.
If I can take, if they can come over and take 4 chiefs' feathers, then they will have the Ali behind their name. And only way for one of us, the feather wearers, to get the title of an Ali, we have to be directly confronted by Ali. We can't, they can get an Ali from El by winning our feathers. We can win the fez and get the El Bay or the Bay El, but we can't get the Ali unless we do, because the Ali is the master of masters.
Right.
So if you're a feather wearing motherfucker, you can't be an Ali unless you was face to face with a Ali, a grandmaster in a system.
So it's
So
all okay. Go ahead.
so we call our feather wearing fez wearers righteous Moors.
Okay.
And we call the ones who came with the challenge the dirty Moors. But this is
Mm.
because the character of the people that's playing is distinctly different. The dirty Moors feel like they better than everybody else and that they can keep humans as pets.
Mm.
The righteous Moors believe that ain't no big eyes or no little U's. I ain't better than you, and you showing the fuck ain't no better than me. Right?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And our ranking system for us is most loved, most respected. Their ranking system is based off most feared and most it's not like it's not like true respect, but it's
Right.
most theirs is most feared, most respected. Ours is most loved, most respected. So that's the way, and they behave according to the instilling of fear in you of them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, they use a proxy for you to fear so they can stand next to you and you don't know they there.
Mm.
And that was the great cover. That's why we always got undermined because they were standing next to us. They knew who we were,
But we didn't know who they was.
but we didn't know who they were. So they was using the pale faces to keep us from the institutions that would give us enough information to figure out who they were. So
Right.
what we had to do in response was overrun a institutions with friendly pale faces that would put the secrets in the public so the chiefs can find out what happened.
And you call
This
them the friendly faces, friendly pair of faces because they was with us.
they
Or
came over to go in the places that our dark faces couldn't go
mm-hmm.
and tell us what they were doing in secret. They was
Right.
working for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they came over and the Great Migration on Ellis Island in New York. So it was two sides of the same coin
Mm-hmm.
with the pale faces that blocked us out of the institutions and the black faces that betrayed our attempts to overtake the institution by
Right.
force. And the masquerading of the government is where they got us at.
Yep.
Because we was putting our faith and trust in the government that was never more than the slave trading company that had went national.
No, we ain't know it.
And we didn't know it. And they used something called meritorious manumission as the justification to allow us to roam our own free land. They knew they couldn't stop us from traveling the land because that's what we do. So they grant us meritorious manumission. So it'll look like because we travel in the land, whether they want us to or not, we
Mm-hmm.
complying with their order so that when our children come along, our children feel that they should comply to their order because my mama did. My
Just like
daddy did. Right.
right.
So it's all part of the morals and dogma in the Protocols of Zion blueprint.
That Albert Pike.
Yeah.
So he the
The,
reason.
the
Mm-hmm.
protocols is written by a group of anonymous dirty Moors. The whole Nicene Council that assembled the Christian church was assembled by Constantine. It was a military development of a control system to run government.
Wow. Wow.
And it's all in the books. It's not a secret. Ain't none of the shit I'm saying a secret.
Right.
It's just that none of us was educated to the level to put all of the pieces together.
But I don't understand how. How we was not educated. If we were here first, we were so mighty. We were so advanced.
They killed off our elders that knew how to defend us.
Mm.
They murdered them. That's called the Pope's most vile and bloody oath. Kill the kings, the princes, and the people of the land. Anybody that was developing enough intelligence to tell us what happened, they murder them.
Like the Malcolm X's, the
Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was fine until he talked to Elijah Muhammad and got the truth and found out that he was being handled by handlers. No, now he ain't the kind go along to get along Negro because he know the truth now. He can't perform the same as he did when he didn't know the truth. So now they got to murder him. His handlers got to set him up to get murdered. It all came out in the lawsuit filed by his family against the government for wrongful death. Dick Gregory did a whole lecture on it so that he explained it to you what was taking place.
and a lot of people don't know it. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people think that he got shot and he died. A lot of people don't know he died in the hospital where somebody killed, where they went in there and killed him. But I was telling my family members just 2 years ago, and they were like, "Girl, you gone crazy." And I was like, "Y'all can look it up." They thinking that he died when he got shot. People so lost, man.
Yeah.
People so okay. The last thing. Okay, so damn. Okay, the totem animal. I did what you said, and I asked the ancestors, and then I had a dream of a black dog. But you told me that dogs was, I ain't gonna say dogs not man-made, but dogs is not natural, right?
Who told you that?
No, I thought you said dogs was
Dogs is assigned to the people who's walk alone in life because for companionship. That's the purpose of the domestic dog.
Okay. And then
The
the last
black dog is the symbol for Anpu. So if
ankle.
that's your totem animal, then Anubis is is your guardian saint for your bloodline, for your family. If you learn much as you can about him in order to allow the energy to protect you as best as possible, and he opened doors for you. Anpu is a very strong ancestor. And when you, the more that you study him,
Mm-hmm.
the more that energy becomes that power. You'll feel it. One day you might just get up and be like, feel that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because Anubis ain't no joke.
Yeah, it
Very,
was. Yeah,
that's very strong God energy.
yeah, like it scared me. When I asked for, I was like, "Can you please show me what my totem animal is?" And then I had a dream. Somebody was holding the dog, and the dog was looking at me. And then he like latched on to me. And so they pried his hands off, and he looked at me like, "I'm not gonna bite you. You asked who I was. I'm showing you." And then the dog didn't bite me. And then he was just looking at me like, "I'm here. You asked for me." And then when I woke up, and then it came to me, I was like, "I did ask." Oh, it blew me. But I was like, but I thought a dog was.
Also, your familiar is your pet. In your energy field, that dog, if whatever breed it is,
Mm-hmm.
if you want him to walk with you in the real life, you get a puppy that's that breed.
Yeah, it looked like a Rottweiler. It was all black, and I think it had like a little bit of brown. So yeah, that's a Rottweiler, right?
It's possible. The same black and tan as the Doberman is that color too. And you
Yeah.
have you also have pit bulls that's closer to that build, but they come in those colors too.
Okay. Okay. Last thing. How to? Okay, you told me all that. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. The 48 chromosomes. I remember you were saying something about the chromosomes. Um, you were saying, then what was you saying about them chromosomes? And you were just talking about it too. Cause I was like, what did you? I think you said 47 chromosomes. How many
47 is Down syndrome.
Right. So it's 40. You said 47. So what's 48? I think that's what I had the question. The 48 chromosomes.
Supposed to be 46, 23 from the mother, 23 from the father.
So ain't no such thing as 48. So I can
If
scratch
it's
that.
48, it's a birth defect. It's an abnormality. Just like Down syndrome is an abnormality.
Okay, birth
But
defect.
there's a species of extraterrestrial that genetic um, anomaly comes from.
Mm,
And they look more like Mongolians. But the defect a lot sometimes can cause, it's because of certain proteins. You can have a child with Down syndrome that's a genius.
right.
If the woman that's pregnant knows she's having a child with Down syndrome, she needs to drink a large cup of moringa tea every morning for her pregnancy because she'll turn the genius on that comes with that extra chromosome. Some women are not going to abort a child because they have Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Right. So if you don't want a Down syndrome child that has to be taken care of their entire life and can't be self-sufficient, then don't do nothing. Do what them doctors tell you. But if you know they're gonna have Down syndrome, the moringa tea is going to keep the key proteins in the central nervous system from diminishing the intellect, right? And it's going to keep them from being, so they will be functional to take care of themselves, but they might, instead of um, being able to take care of themselves at 18, they might be 30 before they can go out and pay their own bills and make their own money.
Yeah.
But they're going to do it more um, clean, more deliberate than a regular person too, because
Right.
they're going to be taught to it a certain way, and they're not going to deviate from it. And
Right.
then when somebody, this is what keeps them safer in the society as a handicapped person, because they'll make such a stink about you changing
Mm-hmm.
how they know how to do something that it'll make the other regular people stand up for them.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
how you,
what
right. So they learning how to use the society to their benefit
right.
by behaving with a certain character. So once they get it, that regimented order that they have to pay their bills
Mm-hmm.
and schedule their meals and their baths on their own, anybody that tries to interfere with that, they're gonna make such a stink that they're gonna get caught. Because anybody that's trying to interfere with that instead of assist it is trying to take advantage of them.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that they are is a natural alarm system to tell the regular people to keep this predator away from them.
So it's probably is all actuality. It's good to have somebody like that around there.
Yeah, well, we looking at the way they are. It's
Right.
like a Rain Man with the numbers, right? In the movie Rain Man, Tom Cruise dropped a box of matches. And when they hit the ground, the sound gave him enough information to count exactly how many matches hit the ground.
Yeah,
Right? But as long as Tom Cruise did certain stuff, the Rain Man didn't give him problems. But soon as he started doing other than what Rain Man understood, he make a fuss, and now other people are intervening. What's
right,
going on?
right.
That's mainly how the story was playing out, because that's the way that nature teaches certain abnormalities how to defend itself and how to use the society to its advantage.
That makes sense.
So instead
That
of
makes
trying to give the developing Down syndrome medals, because they're gonna try to give you iron pills, ferrous sulfate. You need the moringa because it's phytonutrients. Then the metals are going to cause the problem because of the missing phytonutrients. That's why you give them a cup of moringa tea every morning, because all of those nutritional things on the nutritional scale,
yeah.
it's maximizing the greatest possible benefit the fetus can have for development, no matter what the current condition of it is. In this case, there's an extra chromosome. So you don't want the chromosome to be a handicap. So you make sure that your nutrients is at optimum capacity. Moringa is so nutrient dense that a person that's on his deathbed for malnutrition they use the moringa to bring them back to health.
I drink that every morning. I get it from the whole, not the Whole Foods, the African, the
Oh
international,
yeah.
the African, and I drink moringa every morning. But I just now found out about it when you was talking about it one day, and I went and got it and I read the benefits. I was like, why we didn't know about this? It's just so crazy. And
How
okay,
did it make you feel once you started taking it?
energized. I got an appetite now. And it just, to me, I got 4 boys. I keep saying it, but it's just like energized, because I always be having to take energy pills and stuff like that. It's like I have more energy, and just like, I don't know, I'm more happier. I don't know. It's like it's so crazy, but it's like a mood enhancer too.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying, like,
Okay, so
me,
look at this. When you are deficient in a nutrient, your body is sending stress hormones for you to fix the problem. Those stress hormones, they call them stressors, chemical stressors. Primarily, it's cortisol, neuroepinephrine, and a couple of other chemicals. This makes you become agitated easily, irritable. So when you get your nutrients balanced, your body's not sending these chemicals out in distress. So now you can be more present while you're present.
exactly. It make a lot of sense. All right, babe. And yeah, that's it. And it about the Orishas, like, if I'm a spiritual, to me, I just feel like the Orishas, Oshun and all of them, it's still a belief, or I'm
No,
looking at
you're looking
it's
at it
still
all wrong.
we worshiping
Those
something.
are ancestral energies that's active in your DNA that you need to learn about in order to have control of your spiritual self.
With these people out here in Georgia, they doing it wrong. They worshiping these people and sacrificing chickens and stuff like that. It just turned me away from. I was like, I'm EFAT. I'm EFAT. It's like a game. I'm EFAT. I'm EFAT. I'm like, baby, y'all can have EFAT. I don't know
Hey,
what EFAT,
look,
but I just found out about it in
look,
Georgia. Came here.
Look, you talking about them sacrificing chickens, but ain't nobody talking about these Christians. They eat Jesus every year. They eat Jesus and drink his blood in a
Commun-
mock ceremony every couple of months. They call it a Eucharist,
Oh.
right? It's no communion.
Yeah, that's why I said the communion with the bread and the wine,
Communion,
grapefruit juice. Supposed to
right?
be mine, his blood.
Yeah. Energetically speaking, they might as well eat the motherfucker for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they we can't look down on them for sacrificing the chicken if we ain't ready to deal with eating Jesus.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. They just put a bad taste in my mouth. So I guess I got to do research on them. It's just like, it still like they worshiping
Now
something.
listen, all of the priesthoods have been infiltrated by rogue elements that's misusing the practice of the priesthood. The same way that these Christian prosperity preachers with these churches big as football stadiums,
Mm-hmm.
collecting offerings, sending garbage cans around to fill up with money every Sunday.
Helicopters.
This
All
is
that.
a corruption in the priesthood. It don't got nothing to do with the people the people are being misled. But
Yeah.
the people that's misleading them is working from the corruption in the priesthood. So you're supposed to have a bad taste in your mouth if you sense the corruption anywhere, not just with the Ife, not just with the Obe, not just with the Gullah, not just with the Satria.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, Muhammad, and motherfucking Abraham punk ass too.
Yeah, but they talking about they E5, but they still worship like, thank you, Jesus. They still believe Jesus. I ain't know that. So I'm
Look,
confused. That's I
because
say
they
I got.
used to use it. That's Santeria. We used to use the church to conceal the Vadum. Somewhere along the way, the indoctrination of the church ousted the Vadum.
Mm,
A lot of the church practices you see in modern day churches that we have, if you
mm-hmm,
wanted to know the difference, look at a Catholic church. You'll see the difference.
mm-hmm,
These people, a lot of these people is fake practitioners anyway.
mm-hmm.
Just like most of these Christians and Mohammedans and motherfucking Hebrews is hypocrites too.
Yeah, yeah,
So once we realize that the whole thing is judge not that ye may not be judged, but for the same measure by which you judge, by that measure also shall you be judged.
right.
In other words, don't condemn nobody because you don't know what they went through that's keeping them locked in that position. You just know it's not for you and you move on and you do the best you can do.
Facts.
So the voodoo ain't above being breached by rogue priests. It's the people who understand it that's going to eventually drag the rogue priest out into the public domain as the frauds they are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't care what they use as the underlying um, method of teaching or preaching or conning.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna all get drug out when the people realize that the priesthoods have been corrupted, and the best way to tell is they telling you the truth or is they telling you the script?
That part. That part. All right, King. It's getting late, and I know you got a whole list. I appreciate you, and I'm gonna get back on your live and continue to follow you, baby.
All right, sweetie. I'll
All right.
talk to you later.
Okay.
Oh man, I appreciate you getting me back on, man.
You was in the middle of a sentence when they cut you off last time. I wanted to hear what you was talking about. You was shit. You had my full attention, and then that bitch blinked out on me.
Well, man, I hope you like this question. But yeah, I was trying to understand time. Again, I created Lineage to get us to start reading some books. It's still hard to get us to read books, but give us the beginning of the Earth. How did everything spin off? I know you had mentioned there was only women on the planet, so I'm just intrigued to hear what you know and how we came to be. Like, what's that whole process look like? If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, Earth at first, Earth has always been a resort location.
Okay.
And the
So
hospitality of Earth became legendary because of the Earth Angels. That's what they used to refer to the women. In modern terminologies, the best way to translate it is Earth Angel.
like the song Earth Angel.
Yeah.
Earth Angel. Because I know you bring it back to music sometimes. I went ahead and did it for you this time.
Right,
Go
because
ahead.
the music helps to understand the concept better.
Yeah.
Because when you put it to the song helps you retain the information.
Right. Right.
Because it's on the pattern, it's on the beat, it's on the harmony and the frequency that you can gig with.
Right.
But anyway,
Right.
Earth was where people was coming to learn what's known as the mystic arts. The women
Mystic
were
arts.
instructors in the mystic arts.
Okay.
But the women, they didn't stay incarnated in physical form. But the different species of trainees, they would come in and they would take on a form.
Okay.
For the purposes, the women could go to higher densities and then they can come to the 3D and materialize.
So how far could they go? 6th, 7th?
No, they can at least go to 21 dimensions straight up.
21?
Yeah, but they normally stop at 13.
How many dimensions are there?
Infinite.
Infinite? Oh, damn.
We at the lowest vibrational point
right.
in the hologram of the convergence.
Mm-hmm.
We are where the rays of light actually meet the wall.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about the first dimension, remember, writing is a 2-dimensional art.
2D. Yep.
Right. Yep. And a dot is 1D.
Mm-hmm.
Right. As soon as you make any movement from the central point of the dot, you move into 2D.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So when you in the physical world, you in the 3D. Now the hologram is moving from a flat surface to the upright.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Now the chess pieces can be moved around from looking at it on the level.
Mm-hmm.
And the level is a Masonic tool for the construction of the temple.
Okay.
Okay, now, when these women would materialize in the 3D,
mm-hmm.
they discovered the training method was to take what's 4th dimensional, express it 2-dimensional, and then it plays out 3-dimensionally.
In 3D. Oh, okay. That's deep.
So you leveraging the hologram off of the backdrop. The backdrop is the walls of the uterus of Big Mama.
All right.
Right. So now when the women would go to the 13th dimension, that's where they are all infinite spirit beings.
Right.
Right. And the ego is a side effect of being in the 3D. You don't have an ego in your dream. In your dream, everything you do is selfless.
Yeah.
But when you in the physical world, you do selfish shit.
You do selfish shit all the time. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So you trying to learn how to teach yourself to become the person in the dream. That's 4D.
Yeah, fourth dimension. Okay.
So the trick is to create a grimoire. What is the grimoire for? It's to take the 4D lessons, put them into 2D so that you become what you learn in 3D.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
So
deep.
at 13th dimension, that's called Big Mama's house.
Okay.
From the 13th zodiac seat, we learn what Big Mama orders is from Big Mama house.
Okay.
So the women at this point, they had no need for a consort because they weren't stuck in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
So when the first major wars of the Earth Chronicle, Earth was fighting the Andromeda beings because they were matriarchal, but they were a different kind of matriarch than we are.
All right. Quick question. So it was only women having to fight these Andromeda beings
Right.
at that time? Okay.
And
And were
the
they fight?
Andromeda beings came from a what's called a duality dimension where they
Golly.
had gender. The law of gender wasn't applied on Earth yet.
And that's the seventh hermetic principle?
The law of gender, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so this is what was called the gender contract. You hear me talking about it. I even did a video on the gender
I
contract.
do remember. Yep.
Right. So the women fighting the Andromeda beings was losing in a strict competition to the males from the Andromeda strain.
Okay.
Right. So the women formed a council on Earth and asked Big Mama, can they produce men as protectors from the other dimension? So this is how duality, gender, the law of gender, becomes implemented on Earth.
Oh shit. All right. So I felt like I was uh oh, okay, go ahead. Keep going, man. You're blowing my mind right now. I felt
Okay,
like
so
young
now,
when I said that. Oh shit, right.
right. So this is why I say that every closing of the age, homosexuality is rampant because the gender contract is being challenged.
Oh wow.
If the women determine that the men have outserved their purpose, they will erase our ass. They'll stop producing male children.
Yeah, there's a lot of us out here fucking up. I can tell you that. They might mess around and try it. I don't know. Good night.
If
Go ahead.
hey, look, if one of us bump straight, they might let us stay.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm trying to be the straightest straight bump I can bump when I bump straight.
Me too, man. Me too.
You know.
Yep. I'm
So
sorry. Yep. Keep going. Yep.
the challenge to the gender contract, if the women determine that there's no sense of having men if the men gonna only love men. It's a waste. We can just go back to having women.
Yeah.
Right? So the gay guys are converts by the ones who's trying to get us to break the gender contract.
Wow.
And this is why the power is so great with the elemental Q community.
What the elemental Q? I don't understand.
Whatever the fuck they is, like some
Oh.
alphabet.
All right, all right. I understand what you mean then now. I got you. Okay.
Right. So they are strategically placed there as a military application to compel the woman to oust man from the earth so they can backdoor them with the dragon bitches
Okay.
and replace the women's rulership with drag queens.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
But it's
man.
not
Earth.
gonna work.
No, it's not gonna work. So, so you left off with women were gonna try to get men because they were dying, I guess. So, what's that story look like?
Well, it looked like
Dig.
Sanaya Latham joining forces with the Predator in order to
Okay.
fight Alien.
Okay. All right.
Right. So that's the repeat of the story.
Okay.
There was the women they was hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Sanaya Latham represents Kalima,
Kalima Anan.
the great warrior spirit of the sister of the Shakti energy.
Yep. Yep. I just started reading MP Blavatsky and starting to get into some of that Shakti stuff. Like I've heard you say it several times, and then Rod was like, none of us are gonna read this book. And I said, damn it, I'm gonna read this book. And now I'm starting to learn a little bit about the Shakti stuff. Yeah. Go ahead, man.
But generally speaking, we wasn't gonna read none of that shit.
No, I mean I didn't know about it, man. I love reading.
Yeah. But remember
Yeah.
how many of us don't want to read?
Yeah. Yeah. Kyrie, right? He was a great interview. He said, I always wondered why they said if you don't want black people to read, put it into a book. I mean, want black people to know anything, put it into a book. And it's pretty prevalent, you know. Like I said, Lineage was about getting people to read. I just started saying, forget it. Let me just post stuff because it's a little bit more effective to get people to understand in 30 seconds, a minute, 3 minutes, whatever, you know. It's unfortunate, but we're getting there, though. We're waking up.
Oh man, it's to me right now where the reach that the information I put out in the public domain has had,
Yeah.
and the impact is kind of making me nervous. But it's
Why
not
is that?
making me nervous as in a fearful way.
Okay.
It's more like a holy shit, I done set this bitch off for real.
Yeah, you did
If
set it
these
off.
niggas gonna stand up, because if they
Yeah.
do, these motherfuckers in trouble. These imposters about to get the business.
Yeah,
And then
man.
I'm
You really.
starting to see people that's talking to somebody like Kanye,
Mm-hmm.
and he's dragging out the motherfuckers. And when it
Yeah.
looked like he's dragging out pale faces,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
backing up talking about, wait a minute, we ain't the ones.
He's like, hold on.
It's them niggas over there he's standing right there next to you, that nigga.
Yep. 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 Gotta be careful. It's that
That's
nigga
why
right
the commissioner of the NBA was like, Kyrie ain't anti-Semitic. He know who them niggas is.
there. When you first said that, man, I was like, it makes so much sense. And I started seeing the people in my life that I was like, these are definitely some Enlil's children. Like every time they came around, it was negativity or a fight or something else. It just always kept us down, always brought the vibration down, bro. I was like, how, bro? Yeah, man, it's some real stuff, man. I'm ready to bring everybody out, though. You know, every single evil motherfucker on the planet. I'm ready to get rid of them, man.
Hey,
However
look,
I can do it in my form.
I just
Was
be
that?
hoping motherfuckers don't ask me for some shit called compassion.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm
Because they
done.
got the same amount of compassion from me
Yeah,
coming that they gave to my people when they
that's
was
right.
doing that bullshit to them and lying to them, misleading
Yep.
them and trying to steal their shit. So I got the same amount of compassion. I'm just matching energy with them motherfuckers.
That's right, man.
I'm
That's
just
right.
gonna treat them the way they treated us, and it's not personal. It's just family business.
I live with my heart, man. But you know, like you say, I'm with the shits. Some people got to get the shits. You know, our kids are getting taken all the time. Our women are being raped. Our men are in jail. This is some bullshit. Yeah,
Look,
I got no
I
compassion for
found this
hate.
from living life. I can't deal with the people I love the same way I deal with the sociopath that came to kill us.
Yeah, yeah,
I have to put people in their proper category and treat them accordingly in
Yep.
order to not mistreat anybody who don't deserve mistreatment.
That's right, man.
If
Come
the
out the
motherfucker that came to kill me get murdered, right? If he came to kill me and he get murdered, I can't feel bad for him.
Not at all, man. No, hell no. I don't care what they want to tell us to do. Be nice, hell no, bro. You deserve that shit. You
My
deserve it.
mama told me a long time ago, as long as I'm in the position to right, I can't lose.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since I've been in the position to right, every fight I win that motherfucker. I
Yep.
come out on top.
Out on top. Yep.
Right?
To change the subject a little bit, shadow work, man. You know, what's some things that we could be doing right now in a shadow work aspect that you feel gets results faster? You know, got a lot of people asking me what I could do or what we could do, and I know you
Okay,
did one.
it's the
So
easiest starter kit for anybody starting, because once you do this method, it's going to make you automatically do your shadow work till you done.
all right.
Whenever you see a motherfucker and you say to yourself, I can't stand that motherfucker always doing, make sure that you don't do that. Whatever it is that make you not like them,
Yeah.
ask yourself the question using the science of self-talk.
Yeah. All right.
Right? I found out a long time ago, I used to hate for motherfuckers that when you ask them something, they don't answer you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about it. When motherfuckers ask me for the question and I know they're not going to receive the right answer, I won't answer them.
Yeah.
And so I had to stop being angry at people that I ask shit that don't answer.
Gotcha.
As soon as I did that, now I don't run across those people anymore.
Yeah, you don't even attract the energy anymore, huh?
Nope, that energy is out of
Yeah.
my lane.
Got you. Yeah, I remember one time you talked about doing the mirror work where you look at somebody and see that person in the mirror. You want to know who I picked? I picked Enlil's bitch ass. That video that you showed where he is walking around in Africa, you know, light skin and supposedly doing these miracles while this other woman is over here whipping these people, crazy as shit. And you know, I have, you know, went through some trials and tribulations, recently divorced. It's, you know, it's been about a year. You know, I tried different things, but when I heard you say that, man, I looked that mug in the face, and first thing I said, if I get the opportunity one day, I'm gonna beat your ass. It might be several centuries from now, but I'm powerful and I'm coming. But I looked at him, and that's when I started doing that shadow work, that mirror work. So I appreciate it, man, because after that day, I know for a fact I'm a much better person, way
You
better
know,
person.
you being recently divorced, your greatest accomplishment is to be able to develop a functional communication with your ex-wife.
Yeah, we're there finally. Yeah.
Yeah. Because once you do that, that's the level of maturity you need to be for the benefit of the children.
Yeah, it was tough, man. You know, I wasn't the one that wanted or anything like that, so it was never negative. But it was hard to be around her.
Yeah.
And now, you know, it's, you know, hey, how you doing? We're smiling, and you know, I've moved on, and she's happy, which is great. I'm happy, which is amazing. But yeah, it came with that mirror work, man. You know, a lot of people don't like using the mirror, but you know, finding the opposite of you and somebody, you know, I had one guy say, I don't like anybody. I was like, there's somebody. I went intergalactic on mine, but there's somebody out there.
So here's one for the children.
Okay.
Since we're on the
Yeah.
topic. Whenever you read a story to a child, whoever the hero is in the story, tell them that's the role they playing.
Okay.
This is a self-confidence building exercises from parent to child. Every story if he read the Bible, he's Jesus.
All right.
Right? If he reads Superman, he's Superman.
Yeah.
Right? If he read Aquaman, he Aquaman.
He's Aquaman. Yep.
And tell them to always be the hero in every story they read so they can be their own hero in their own life.
Yeah, that's deep, man. Yeah.
Stop. We teaching them they can be the bus boy. They can be the maid.
Yeah.
They can be the one to clean the shit up out the stables.
Yeah.
I did all that shit so my son don't have to.
Yeah.
Right? So now
Yeah.
that I know the secrets to how to build their self-esteem, I can give those secrets to the children. I could tell the
Hmm.
rest of the clans this is how we start building the self-esteem to overcome the post-traumatic slave disorder.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
You said something one time. I'd love for you to let the people on the live hear it. But you were talking about something that you did with your son, like that routine that you have with your son. If you could tell that story, because I actually told it to one of my my female friends, and she does it with her son now. But you can do it a lot better because I don't have a young kid, but it was huge for her and
Yeah,
her
so
son.
when I used to get my son a bath, ever since he can talk, I gave him a mantra. In the mantra, when he get out the tub, while I'm drying him off, we say it together. I look good. I said, my name is Jeremy. I look good. I
I
smell
feel
good. I feel good. I do good. I be good because I am good.
damn good. Yeah.
And he got to the point where I say, now say your stuff, and I'll be drying him off, and he'd go through
Hmm.
it by himself, and I was like, you got it.
Yep.
If I
Yep.
don't
That
give
was
him nothing
beautiful.
else, that's gonna take him through any obstacles that come in the way.
Yep. Yeah, that really resonated with me. I remember the feeling too. I kind of got chills. I got two boys. One's 14 and one's 18. And unfortunately, I grew up, or we grew up together while we were in the Matrix, and I didn't have my awakening until late. So my 18-year-old is not really feeling all this. And my 14-year-old, we're over here learning about, space time and time space. He's kind of in that mix where he's starting to realize he has some power. We have some power as a people. We have some power, and he's really starting to believe it. My 18-year-old's on the other side. So I had a buddy of mine, Native American couple, man, a beautiful. Let me tell you this crazy story, man. I was on that ship, so I went with Billy Carson to Egypt, and there was this Native American couple that were on this ship, and beautiful couple, man, beautiful couple. And they were sitting there and they were like, do you know there's so many millions of us Native Americans that have been getting killed by the government? And I looked at them, I'm like, hundreds of millions, because we're the Native Americans too. And they didn't take no offense to it. They pulled out their cell phones, Rod, no cap. Grandfather, black as us, grandmother, black as us. And they were like, absolutely. And I said, one of my master teachers, it's you and Billy, but my master teacher, Rod Hayes, told me about some lady named Mama Bear. And I haven't looked up the video, but we're going to check it out soon. No joke, Rod, you posted it the next day, that Mama Bear video. So I went and I went and I was looking for him. And I found the lady. Her name is Melanie. And we went downstairs and we watched the Mama Bear video, and we had such a touching moment, because she understood everything that's happened to us as a people, especially when Mama Bear said, I'm ad-libbing. I don't remember exactly what she said, but she was like, we got to love our black people because they pretty much sacrificed themselves for us.
That
They
was
knew
the
that they were
Khaki
the
War.
strongest people on the planet. And they went and did this so we can continue these traditions. So we got to stop bullshitting and start helping with these folks. You know what I'm saying? It was such a touching moment on that ship, man. It was, and I told her, I was like, I've been looking for my tribe. I've been looking for my family, and I found it right here, man. So I was like, Rod done showed up. I vibrated somehow into Rod's mind because that moment had to happen. There were so many people around, because it's hard to conceptualize for some people that we're the organic people, you know what I'm saying? And they had no problem with saying, yep, you're right. Just started pulling out all these family photos, man. So we definitely got to go back, do our history, find ourselves, because, man, every single one of y'all, man, y'all got such a deep history, a deep background. Some of it's in Mississippi, some of it's in California, some of Mesoamerica. But Rod, man, it was crazy, man. I just brought her up the day before and you posted that video. I was like, it was meant to happen, bro. It was so crazy.
Oh yeah. So those are what you call moving to the singularity, convergences. And the more
Moving to the
convergences
singularity.
we see, the more convergences we see, the singularity is getting enough of our people to realize the takeover that's in full effect.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, man. Hermetics versus metaphysics. What's your take?
Hermetics is metaphysics.
So when I was reading the Kabbalion, they mentioned hermetics wasn't the same as metaphysics because damn, what the hell did they say? Well, shit, I'll leave that to you. I mean, that's what you know what's up.
So meta, right, means a unit of information.
Mm-hmm.
Physics is in reference to the physical construct.
Mm-hmm.
The 7 Hermetic principles govern the physical construct.
Right. Right.
Right. That's metaphysics. Those
Okay.
are
All
the
right.
bytes of information that govern the physical reality.
All right.
Right. So the geometric structure of the hologram is Metatron's cube.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's the energy signature of the grid. Right. It's Metatron's cube.
Mm-hmm.
Metatron's cube is called the star of life. When you activate Metatron's cube, you activate the Merkaba.
Okay.
Merkaba means spirit, body, ship.
Right.
Right. And it comes from 3 Kemetic words: Mir, which means the ship; Ka, which is the body; and Ba, which is the soul.
Oh. Yeah.
Right. So the Merkaba is your heart chakra being activated by the upward rising pyramid and the downward pointing pyramid becoming Metatron's cube in the heart chakra.
Yeah.
The visualization for the meditation is to see Metatron's cube in a blue heart-shaped orbit, spinning around in your heart center.
Okay.
And this is driving the energy through Metatron's cube in your heart.
All right. Yeah. Astral projection. Can you Hathor's temple? So I had this astral projection, Rod. It was crazy. I was reading the lost civilizations of Atlantis, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to astral project to Atlantis. So I start, doing my thing. I end up in water. There's this dude next to me, right? And he opens this gate. I walk up this gate and I end up in this really beautiful palace looking thing. And there's these walls and different things like these huge columns. The floor was this beautiful blue and grayish color. And I look over and these huge people, they were like 10 foot tall, huge, beautiful people. And one of them starts walking towards me and I kind of get startled and I come back. Well, I go on this trip to Egypt and we end up at Hathor's temple. It was Hathor's temple. Do you know anything about Hathor's temple? Because I felt like that was way further back in time than what I saw on Wikipedia or some shit saying it was built around or started being built around 1800 BC. But so I didn't feel like that.
They changed all of the dates.
Okay.
By giving us what's called New Kingdom Egypt and Old Kingdom Egypt.
Oh shit.
In the most of what's over there is approximately 30,000 years old.
Even the Hathor's Temple, huh?
The whole time I read, the 3 cities was replicas of 3 cities over here.
I believe that. Yep, yep.
So those 3 cities is Heliopolis is the city of the sun. That's Los Angeles.
Okay.
Then you have